trainers, and welcome in to the INGAGE Unite Fight Club. It's UFC, baby, and we are your hosts. I'm Spartan Tano, and I've got the incredible Lobo with me. How are you doing today, buddy?
Brother, whenever we do something like this, it is 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'm hyped up with coffee. I've got myself some fresh orange cordial running through my veins because, baby, it's fight night. Let's go. I am so keen for this. Tano, give us a rundown because we've got a fairly unique experience for our viewers today. A Unite tournament like we've seen, but these players, they're not just fighting, they're fighting for something completely different today. So let's tell them what they're doing.
Yeah, hey, look, this initiative, it's brand new for the EU region. INGAGE has set this up thanks to the incredible people in the behind the scenes, Christo, to name one of them. We have a fight club that has been going on for a little while here in the EU region, and we began to develop it, and it's all about the individual players. Is this, Lobo? Yes, you are going to compete as a team, but it is all about building your resume as a player. We are going to have a panel of judges that will also enable you to see how you can improve as a player, and eventually, once we've got a couple of weeks of data under our belt, we will be doing player grading as well. So it is all about the individual within the team here at the UFC.
Marty, have we been moved over to FIFA Ultimate Team? What's going on? We're getting some gradings and everything else like that. Now, I know people might be a little bit, oh my God, you're giving people grading, but this initiative entirely, the Unite Fight Club, is all about individual improvement alongside team improvement. That is the whole point of this entire tournament. Just like my lovely colleague did mention, we are trying to boost every aspect of the Pokemon Unite game and highlighting individual players' skill, especially on this grassroots level, buddy. That's exactly what we're aiming for. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a way for you to improve. And mate, it's just going to be a good time for all of us. I'm so keen for it.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Let's have a look at the bracket and the schedule that we have planned for today. These fight clubs are going to be happening on a Monday and a Thursday, and it is going to be some invited teams that are taking place, buddy. So today we have Do You Like Pineapple that are going to be taking on Leftover OP to begin with, and then Mia Familia are going to be taking on Cafe Du Martin, and then that next one is going to be the winners, and we'll decide our champion from there. So it's going to be 3 best of 5s for today. Let's get the schedule up and let's have a look at what we're going to be doing here, bro.
I mean, you had a wonderful statement in there. What we're doing best of 5s for every single game. When we get to the format of this lovely fight night that we've got going, you guys are going to understand just how crazy tonight is going to go. But Mighty, take over us with the schedule. Do you like Pineapple going up against Leftovers OP first, then Mia Familia versus Cafe Du Martin? And check out some of these logos.
Yeah, I'm hyped for it, buddy. I mean, we've been seeing these teams compete in the EUL as well, and what I want to look at today is the individual players and how they perform. It's going to be exciting. It's best of 5, but on top of that, we're going to bring up the explanation for you because it's going to be Fearless Draft as well, matey. So many people wanted this, and guess what? We're bringing it back so that these players can really showcase their individual skills on plenty of different Pokemon here, Lobo. Fearless Draft, mate.
I mean, let's take a look at Fearless Draft. This is our little graphic here just to explain how Fearless Draft works. Match number 1, you're going to draft 5 Pokemon, but guess what? Match number 2, all 5 of those Pokemon are off the board. So you have to draft 5 completely new Pokemon, and then that gets even better because then in match number 2, all 5 of those Pokemon that you just drafted, let's kick them out of there. Kick them out of the kitchen, kind of, because they're off the board as well. So by the time we get round to match 5, if all these teams are going to be playing these match 5s, we're going to have a decent number of Pokemon that are going to be off the table for these teams. So this is going to improve that move pool, that Pokemon pool that everybody has got. And not only that, we're not just going to be seeing meta picks that we've been seeing in the Unite scene in every competitive tournament. This is going to force you to go onto Pokemon that you don't usually play or that we don't usually see. And I know for us casters, that is absolutely incredible. Man, I'm going to have to make sure I remember some of these Unite moves because we haven't seen some of these Pokemon in a hot minute.
That's it, isn't it, buddy? We've got to remember all these Unite moves because we're going to be having so many Pokemon that we don't expect to see as we go on into the first game here, buddy. We're not messing around. We're going to kick it straight off. Do you like Pineapple against Leftover OP? And looking at the bans, buddy, I think we'll continue to see these heavy crowd control Pokemon getting taken out. And that Charizard Unite move, nobody wants that on Fire Sky Ruins.
I mean, Charizard is one of the, standout Pokemon right now, considering how good it is. Versatility, ways to stun. That Unite move, like you mentioned, so strong, but also Suicune just off the bat. Get rid of that CC, get rid of that revival ability, and Little Egg Blissey. I mean, it just stays and stays and stays. That Pokemon is never not going to be good, but it looks like a Dakira for Leftovers OP going for pick number 1. Possibly gonna lock in the big thick boy. Snorlax coming to the fray.
Yeah, I mean, very strong Pokemon at the moment, and a good Pokemon for you to showcase your skills on it as an individual player as well, though. But being able to know when to go in, when to really scout out the other team on such a heavy Pokemon. Do you like Pineapple? We're going to see Bida pick up the Hooper here and pair it with Nils Buzzwole. A great pairing. One of the best top lane pairings you can pick in this game.
I agree with you 100%. We have highlighted before, Bida does a fantastic job with any support that they do play. The Hooper ability to stick with that top laner, causing such menace inside that top path. But we've got another 2 menaces picked over by Leftover P with Latios and Psyduck being picked up. Now, I don't know what Pokemon Unite we're thinking with the amount of damage that Latios is able to provide. But if they can get to that Latios in that background, hiding behind that Snorlax wall, they need to stop Traffy from delivering that damage. But Psyduck is there to keep the Eos Pokemon nice and protected, buddy.
I thought we were going to get a little bit of a Zorak action coming out there. We might do just yet, buddy, but what a way to kick it off if that was the case. But no, Skull is going to lock in this Blaziken. Beach bringing out the Crustle as well that we saw so much of at the World Championships, buddy. So you got to remember, Fearless Draft, best of 5. You don't want to be picking all the meta picks in this first set, so it's interesting to see so many already picked up here.
I mean, we've got 4 all-rounders sitting on the gate. Whether Volto decides to go with that Scizor build, but just having a look at those items, this could be a full heal plus focus band plus weakness policy. We could be seeing either of those two. It's very hard to make sure, but whether we see Scizor or Scyther, it's going to be fun going up against Skull on that. Sorry, I was going Combustion. That's its second evolution. It needs to evolve all the way into Typhlosion with Daddy Leon picking up Raichu. That Electro Ball moveset is so strong right now. Just putting those landmines down is going to make it really hard for Nolan to really whip around the field like it does. Whether we're going to see extreme speed or power up punch to make sure we get that secure, because we have 2 very capable secure Pokemon on either team. Do you like Pineapple's going to have that Blaziken and Leftover P with that Lucario? But talk to me about Crustle, buddy.
I think Crustle is one of those Pokemon that has gone under the radar for a little bit just because of how dominant these defenders are in this game right now, buddy. But we saw at Worlds how impactful this Crab can be, and Beach themselves is a great defender player. So having access to that Rock Tomb that you can cut people off with, Stealth Rock, people don't realize the amount of damage that that move can actually do, as well as just being an absolute hindrance, mate. So I like playing this Pokemon so early because you're not going to get access to Snorlax, but it will go up against Snorlax one-on-one, which I like because the fact is, Snorlax ain't going to be playable after this game for the opposite team because they picked it, bro, and it's Fearless Draft.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes up. Snorlax, such a good Pokemon at walling people away with Block, Heavy Slam as well. Also has access to Yawn to add extra CC. Crustle, you already mentioned it. Rock Tomb able to put people in, trap them in for their attacks to really do damage. But we're going through right now, into Fire Sky Ruins, where our little poor thing is taking the central area, and Scyther is going to go in the central area for Leftovers OP. They are your orange side. Do you like Pineapple on your purple side?
And if you like pineapple or not will be decided when you get your Hello Fresh redeem. As you saw the promo code there, you can decide if you want pineapple or if you don't. I certainly do, because they look like they want to get cooking in this game, as Daddy Leon wants to try and push in that bottom lane already.
I mean, this battle here for just early farm between, look at Pig just trying to probably snake that Bunnelby away, and they do manage to take that Bunnelby away, as well as securing a red buff as well. But they're going to run right into a Scyther. Vida's going to try and get out of here, but they might be caught. Hooper is a bit of a trickster, but it's just giving time for Do You Like Pineapple inside that top path, as Combustion's going to join them shortly.
Has enabled Buzzwole to nearly get close to that level 5. I like that from Bida. You know you're going to go down, but try and disrupt them as much as you can. Bida, one of these players that has really showcased how good their support play is in these recent weeks, buddy. So I'm hyped to see where it goes in this one, but we do get the pull from Skull on all of that farm. A huge piece of chunk going to the side of Do You Like Pineapple, and they're feeling pretty tasty with it here, buddy.
I mean, that was a nice little Electro Ball grenade alongside the Hooper stun to make sure that Scizor does go down to an HP and a dream. Bustle wants to grab someone. They do grab someone alongside the assistance of the Blaze Kick on the Combustion, and Lucario has to run for his life. No matter how much aura you can sense, you ain't sensing that with that amount of HP. And Do You Like Pineapple proving the pizza lovers wrong right now in these early stages.
Plenty of stacks are going to rain on through here as well. Nils is feeling pretty happy with theirs. 77 points on the board for Do You Like Pineapple. And already we see Bida making plenty of rotations with that Hooper, getting their team here for these 8 minutes. A good dive in from Volto there, trying to see if they can grab some, but they were put to CC hell. And it looks like they may go down here as they try to escape, but no. Skull and Daddy Leon locks them down, buddy. Do You Like Pineapple continue to dominate.
Man, I don't want to call him daddy, but he's gonna make me do it eventually. Again, a beautiful Rock Tomb Crossel, just making sure that Scizor had to jump in with that bullet punch, trying to at least secure some of that farm, but just got caught. Psyduck is being thrown around the way. Headache's gonna make Buzzwole back off just a little bit. E-Speed Lucario is the Lucario of choice, but look at these grenades just all the way. Those poor Altaras are already super effective to electricity, but Lucario gets taken down and sent back to Nerf Joy.
Yeah, so does a Volto. That's a double KO coming out for this Raichu here, buddy. And, I mean, a little bit of information for you. Leftover OP is a new team, or at least that's how they describe themselves. A new roster trying to improve for the next Worlds. And, I mean, Do You Like Pineapple have been playing together for a while, buddy, especially in the EUL. So we're seeing that kind of level difference at the moment. Good approach for some KOs here, though, from Leftover. Yes, the pad has been broken, but Lucario manages to find one at least.
I do agree, and there goes the Registeel as well, secured by none other than Blaziken. Do You Like Pineapple are playing so well. We're just seeing them evolve throughout their team's formation here as well. They're getting a nice control. They're pacing their game well. The Hooper Highway is probably, I want to say, one of the most underrated support moves. It used to be so common not too long ago, but with the addition of Alcremie, with Blissey coming to the forefront, and now Latias on the road as well. Hooper has been more utilized with that trick moveset, but Hooper Highway, when you have access to both tier 1s, is so active, and Snorlax just gets a face full of overheat.
Yeah, I mean, this Blaziken's so dominant, buddy, but this is it. You've got to make sure that you get everything you can out of it right now, because you won't have it in the next game. Thunderstorm Aerial comes down, doesn't find any KOs with it, but I tell you what, the Swole has started cooking, buddy. They've already claimed that HelloFresh voucher because they got a triple KO, and they're looking for more here. The Swole Slam utilized to let them into that back line, and now we see the rest of that Do You Like Pineapple cook on Leftover OP.
Cooking in the kitchen with Buzzwole. Cooking in the kitchen with Buzzwole. He is definitely looking to get access to that Hello Fresh there, as Blaziken also wants to cook with those 5 hits. Going to try and secure a blue buff away from Leftovers OP. The control that Do You Like Pineapple is asserting in this game. The rotations from top to bottom are just fantastic. Leftover OP have to do something right now. They need to get a foothold in this game, whether it's to just go to the opposite lane and try and break a tier 1 and try and get some momentum, because right now there's a big problem with Regieleki marching down, and Lucario just has to get out of there.
It's all about keeping this pressure on for Do You Like Pineapple. That's why they're trying to see if they can sneak this through. They know they're winning these team fights, and look at that combo, throwing down that Sizzle into the path of the overheat. But the Red Illusion dive is going to come through, and oh my god, Leftover OP comes out on top. The Latios assistance gets that double KO, and now they defend the Lecky. Going for the Regirock here is Daddy Leon, but there's a dive coming on out from Lucario, just misses it. But what an effort that was.
Aura kind of managing to secure, but oh my god, Lucario does go down. Bider's trying to help out. There goes one pit stop on the Hooper Highway. They've blocked it off. They've gotten rid of a tier 1, so they have managed to claw their way back into this game. Have Leftovers OP 198 to 117. We're only at the 4-minute mark. We see Beach just trying to either leech this blue buff away or take it for themselves. But you know, Snorlax is here. I think it Beach did manage to take that, but they've blocked the Crossel away, but there's no damage dealer to really get rid of that Crossel.
I do like the way these defenders are playing, mate. Just try and disrupt, grabbing farm as much as you can for both of the teams, realistically, and then realizing, yeah, the rest of Leftover OP are here, so we're going to retreat and let the rest of the team to score in that T2. It's down to 16 points right now. They're going for the retreat. Nils tried to get back to their home pad, recognized that they were getting pushed heavily. Luckily, the Hooper Portal will do what needs to be done as they try to escape here. Beatzer with a massive cut-off, utilizing that, and the Red Illusion dive is out. Power Nap is going to come through here from Snorlax as well, but it doesn't stop Blaziken. They get themselves out of there, but not before a double KO comes through from the Scizor. Hooper to the rescue. Leftover were beginning to cook that team.
I mean, we saw two incredible Hooper portals come out from Bidapig on that Hooper. Crossel is now here, gets pulled in by the Psyduck as well, but does manage to make it back to its pad. Buzzwole is here as well. The Citrus Berry has been nom-nom-nommed all the way away, but now they're going to try and break this pad. Latios is going to try and get this, but they don't want to give up any kind of experience and levels right now as Lucario gets cooked by the overheat. Psyduck does manage to get some points in, but the Raichu Electro Ball, those grenades are just too much damage, especially piled up onto your entire team. Turnabout is fair play. Do you like Pineapple making sure work of Leftovers OP on their own pad, and Bidapig breaks that top pad with Regilecky looming.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. Break that pad, and now we do have a win condition on our hands. We see Snorlax, we see Lucario sprint into this beach, trying to see if they can get there in time. Nolan is here. They're ready to go in with the E-Speed, but it's going to be Buzzwole. Nils comes out on top, and that's a win condition, buddy. They find Beach for their effort, and now, in fact, Snorlax rather for their effort, and now this is going to go towards that home pad. What are they going to do, Leftover OP? They have to make a quick decision here.
Yeah, they do. Look, what Do You Like Pineapple is doing fantastic, which you can do with Raichu. They're just putting these Electro Balls down. Sizzle just gets chunked with a big bit of health. Crossel playing the furthest far forward. Bidapig also making sure that they can do. There's the Hooper. The Hooper has gone unbound. The rip is on. And the Regilecky has also walked into the home base. So whether they lose or not, it does not matter. But it is the secure from everybody else. The Blazing It cooks once again to take down the big dragon. And there is a team wipe on the board. Do you like Pineapple? Brother, they're cooking.
They are, buddy, and I mean, they've been doing so for a little while now. This team, yeah, they've had a slight adjustment to some of their roster coming into this Fight Club, but they have been a very strong team for at least a couple of months from that I've been seeing them compete. But Leftover OP, buddy, I gotta say, it was impressive. We saw them in that mid-game make a little bit of a surge, make some good plays. We saw Trathy managing to find some important KOs, managing to keep out of the way of that Buzzwole, of that Blaziken. And then, of course, I think it was a heavy plays from that Scizor that was connecting and getting those levels, mate. So it definitely felt like we could have had a really interesting moment at that Rayquaza fight.
Absolutely, and then it was very interesting to me. The sudden decision for Bida was in the enemy team's central area, decided to jump the guardrail, get in to that area and pull the Hooper roll. He called roll. He made sure everyone came, and they just couldn't get in. We saw Snorlax trying to get in with a secure as well, but it didn't matter for them because they let the Regilecky walk in anyway. So, I mean, let's give it up because Neil's doing a fantastic job with 9 KOs, 7 assists, picking up that man of the match, Lara Colette, on the side of Leftovers OP on that side, picking up the MVP for them as well. But Daddy Leon with the top damage, 83. Those Electro Ball grenades, buddy, just so evasive. They're just, it's so hard to deal with.
I mean, one thing that I feel like I need to talk about with Daddy Leon, buddy, is that Daddy Leon has had top 8 on every single role within Pokemon Unite at some point during their time competing, buddy. So that just says everything you need to know about that player. They're here on the Alolan Raichu, but I have seen them play every single role and cook in the same way. So this is what this is all about. You are showcasing that you, as a player, can bring anything that you need to a team. Basically, being able to fill any hole that a team might have, that is ridiculously valuable in Pokemon Unite.
No, I agree with you 100%. And we saw different strategies being used throughout the game. The Crustle Rock Tomb was used to great utility to really just trap anyone in. And they just couldn't get close to Do You Like Pineapple because of the Raichu. Again, we highlighted how effective Bida was, sending them top down, bottom up, left, right, side to side, any which way you want to go. Bida was making sure that their team got out. Buzzsaw able to reset on an HP in a dream, like we like to call it, then came back picking up a 4 KO streak as well. Again, not a bad draft from either team as well, but buddy, that's game 1. We're still in a best of 5 here. And I just want to take this time to apologize. This is our very first broadcast of the Unite Fight Club. We did run a little bit late, but hey, we cooking anyway, so we do apologize for any delays that we have. We still cooking as well over here. And you know, sometimes when you cook in the kitchen, a few things get burned, but we're on our way to giving you something tasty as we get through these highlights. Buddy, whilst we wait for game number 2 to get up, we are lucky enough to have had a chance to talk to some of these players. Our production staff have had a chance to talk to these players, and we've got a few player profiles, a bit of information about these players. So we would obviously, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast that this whole thing is about the individual player as much as it is the entire team. So Tano and I want to take a chance to highlight a few players on each team throughout the entirety of the best of 5. I guess maybe we'll do Do You Like Pineapple first, considering they won the first one. So maybe we'll do a single player from each team. Tano, if you want to take one, and I'll take one as well. And maybe, you know, we'll go from there and see if we can, you know, so you guys get to know these players a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's completely valid, mate. I mean, when you think about Do You Like Pineapple, what I love and what I witness, I mean, the whole team is extremely important, but I love the connection between Bida Pig and the rest of their team, but specifically between Bida Pig and Skull. And what I love is that we got some taglines from these players as well. Like, we got them to just kind of give us a word description of things. And it is pretty funny because while Bida was saying it's limit testing, all fun and games until Skull throws away the level lead, which I thought was pretty funny anyway. But then Skulls was so funny because it was if I die, it's the support's fault, which I'm just like, it's that banter, isn't it, that kind of you get to see with the synergy in the team. And I think this is why Do You Like Pineapple is one of the most exciting teams that I've seen competing recently, because you can feel that kind of banter and synergy coming through whilst they're playing, mate, and I think it's really fun.
I mean, and we'll have a look at Leftovers OP, because I'm just looking at this here. I'm just looking at the captain, Traffy, and their, I believe, tagline or gameplay style was aggressive game and no fear to fight. And I feel like that was definitely on show, because halfway through that game, we definitely saw them claw that back in. And then on the opposite end, we have La Corette, who is their support player, and their gameplay. So again, this is what I love: aggressive support gameplay. I mean, what are you going to say apart from that? But I think the lovely thing that I have noticed throughout all of these player profiles is that a lot of the goals, even across players on different teams, are pretty much the same, because we've got to become a better player with my team. We've got, what are your goals? A lot of them are top 4 qualifications in your monthlies or regionals next year for the next season. A lot of these goals in mind for Pokemon Unite is to qualify for Worlds. So even across all these teams, different players, different play styles, they have this one play set, this one mindset in mind. So I'm excited for it. And those are just a few of our players. We'll get through the rest of, so we went over 2 of them. We'll go over the others as we get through this game. We still have 3 games in this one set, guys. Come on, we can't give you all the information just yet. But one thing we have to discuss, Mr. Tano, my dear lovely friend, Mr. Tano, Fearless Draft takes place right now.
Yeah, and, perfect timing there, buddy, because as we go into the second game here, there we go. Look at the overlay. We can see that these are the Pokemon that cannot be played on that band down there. I mean, I feel like where it is on, like, number 3 should be on number 1 on the opposite side, but production's looking into it, guys. That's all, don't you worry. But as you can see, there's huge Pokemon that are banned already, bro.
I mean, we still in the kitchen cooking, I could say that. We've got Lucaret picking up that Mewtwo Y straight off the gate. We've got Eldegoss. How long has it been since we've seen an Eldegoss? Such a good utility Pokemon as well. Cotton Cloud Crash, such a good, versatile Unite move. Mamoswine, we need no introduction to, as Beach is gonna tie and ice everything over, whether it goes Ice Crash or that Ice Fang to really disrupt. And Volto gonna lock in the Serena. And Dakira is going to go with Lapras.
I love this, buddy. Already we're seeing the implications of this fearless draft. A Mamoswine, a Lapras coming out onto the field. Now, defenders, they're in a very good state in Pokemon Unite right now, but they're not the kind of Pokemon you would expect to see when you are trying to win a game. So I'm hyped for it, buddy. And Beach, very comfortable on that Mamoswine. Daddy Leon is going to lock in the Armor Rouge. Will it be Armor Cannon? Will it be Fire Spin? I suspect Fire Spin, but Daddy Leon's so flexible on any character they play. It could be anything that we see coming out here, bro.
I mean, just looking at that Rocky helmet and Assault Vest, I mean, there could be an indication. But Traffic gonna pick up a day 1 Pokemon when it comes to a Greninja alongside Nolan. Gonna give him a little bit of floral healing with that nice little comfy necklace. But a Pokemon that I have recently started to pick up and play is the nightmare Pokemon itself, Darkrai. Such a fantastic Pokemon, whether you decide to use I call it the Whack-A-Mole, where I believe it's called the Whack-A-Mole moveset, where you disappear and come out in any single area. But also Dark Void as well is such a good moveset, because when you get your speed dashes, you build up stacks on that. It not only puts you to sleep, but then as you're doing boosted autos and hitting your opponent whilst they are asleep, mind you, you're also getting pinged by that Dark Aura. So the amount of damage that Darkrai is able to do in one instance, especially when you're trying to focus another Pokemon on your team like Daddy Leon or Nils on that Zacian, Beach can come in and disrupt. So a lot of nice disruption on both teams. But let's not forget, Choo Choo Lapras Express can come in and derail all of your plans, because Lapras is such a tanky Pokemon alongside the Queen herself. I like this. I like this draft. I want to see. Let's see if Leftovers OP can get a win on the board, buddy. I'm rooting for them because I want this to go the distance.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I feel like they've definitely got the capability, mate. I mean, looking at the comp that we've seen come out here from Do You Like Pineapple, it ain't an easy comp to deal with, but the ranged attack that we have on the side of Leftover OP, pretty decent, mate. You've got the Greninja, so good secure there already, but also a huge amount of damage. Of course, once Greninja is under that 50% HP mark, it's doing more damage. So let's see how this one shakes out as we go into the second game. Here's match 2. Do You Like Pineapple on your left-hand side, Leftover OP still on your right-hand side.
Darkrai's going to head into that central area, which means it gets that level 5 move much earlier, which means people are going to be left. But this is such an oppressive lane, because usually we think any lane with a Swinub in it is going to be quite strong, but a Lapras and a Mewtwo just sits back, presses A. When soon as it gets access to that side strike, not only are you going to get stunned, but it's a sure hit move no matter what. But early on, Furuki goes down to the Sword Doggo itself.
Good pressure. You want to hit level 5 as soon as possible on these all-rounders, especially Zash, and be able to grab as much of that farm and utilize those boosted attacks. Is it going to be Sacred Claw? Will it be Metal Claw? We do see a little bit of Metal Claw coming out nowadays, and I think it's definitely the better move for being really aggressive in this game.
It could be also a nice little counter to if we're going to see a Fire Spin come out from Armor Rouge as well. But right now, we've got a reverse of what happened in game number 1. We got 4 in the bot lane versus 2 in the bot lane as well. Lapras is going to put that suppressive fire. The Queen is here alongside that floral necklace. A nice evolution to Armor Rouge, but it's caught in no man's land as Swinub can only put down the Ice Shard. But this pad looks to be in danger.
much more aggressive stance from Leftover OP, and it pays for them, but it completely different from game one. But we do see Do You Like Pineapple, Skull and Bida doing that duo combo that they like to do so much. This is why Do You Like Pineapple are so successful. You have this combo, and then you have Daddy Leon just cooking wherever they want. They're taking whatever farm they can away from Leftover OP here, trying to limit the approach that they have. But now that Lapras is here, the song is going to rain on down, looking for the execute. Bida has to put the farm onto themselves to get their heals, and with the side strike, Skull goes back to that Pokemon Center.
Skull did manage to take down Froakie, getting experience, as well as taking that blue buff, also managed to give it experience as well, so not everything lost in that instance. I think it was a good decision to split up from Biopig in case of causing 1 KO. You get 2 big. Ice Fang does manage to take down Mewtwo inside that bottom lane. Fire Spin, putting on the damage, and nobody gets away from the Pillar Swine, and now those points are going in. Do You Like Pineapple fighting back for this one?
Mama Swine Supreme, buddy. Ice Fang is such a ridiculously good move.
It's crazy.
Just when you thought you were getting away, nope, straight back to that Pokemon Center you go. 720s just spawned on in here, and I like the approach from Leftover OP. Straight onto this top side, grab what they can. Nils tries to go on in with the Sword Doggo, does find 1 KO, but no, they were so close. The Queen of Sentence goes up and says, Neil, they found 1, they're looking for more here, buddy, as they go around with the drop kick, but they don't, they get the 2, and then Bida has to hop on out of there. What a good approach from Leftover OP.
Oh, the Queenly ascending into the triple axle just gave them the extra power. I think Comfy might have just not had the healing to keep the Queen alive, but that was a 4 KO streak hampered into a 2 KO streak by the Pillar Swine. And now Do You Like Pineapple just decided to turn their attention to Regieleki. This scoreline in the early games looking a lot more close than it did in game number 1. Big Ice Fang to pick up Frogadier. They really need to get online as a Greninja as soon as possible, but I think it's best if Leftovers OP just lets this walk in and curtail the amount of overdunks that they can get, because that looks the max it could be is just going to be a 8 overdunk for them.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It could definitely be worse, and now you've opened up that extra area of experience to get Greninja online, nearly close to that level 9 as well for this Mewtwo Y, but we got to see a quicker rotation from Leftover OP here. This bottom Reggie is here. I'm saying Regirock. I thought I saw it, but it could be anything, buddy. As we have a nose, it is going to be a Regirock. Oh, we predict it all day long, but the approach from Do You Like Pineapple is just let Beach get this zoning on so that Leftover can't get in there, and the rip from Zacian is absolutely insane. Looking to get some good KOs here is Volto, though, as they dive on in, utilizing that Comfey to keep them around, but the Ice Fang stops them going onto that pad. There goes the Queen Ascenders, and there we go, Fanciful Fields as well, but they still get KO'd, because guess what? Fire Spin is sat there in that grass, buddy. Fire beats grass, and that's a double KO for Daddy Leon.
Oh my god, just the aggression coming out from Do You Like Pineapple. I was about to mention it before, their rotations are just so on point, even not having access to Hooper this time round. And Darkrai was not even part of that fight at all, as Skull was in the top side, getting their own stacks or whatever they need to do inside that top path to get their levels. Just let the confidence to have your team go into a 4v5 situation was great, but again, got to be careful here because the Queen is lurking. But there, again, their team is not that far behind, and that is going to be great communication as we've got another fight. I think Leftovers OP going to be sent back to the Pokemon Center, starting with Lapras.
Yeah, I like that. I think that is where you can see the difference in experience between these two teams at the moment, mate, is that you don't have Greninja and you don't have Mewtwo Y with you. They still went for the approach against 4 players of Do You Like Pineapple there, when really, you got to back on up. You are completely outnumbered. You don't have your carry damage there with you as well, so got to take a different approach, whereas Do You Like Pineapple, they just capitalize on it and get some really good KOs again.
I gotta just point out the positioning of Beach right now. They are just absorbing all the hits. Again, also being held up by the Eldegoss. I said it before, Eldegoss such an underrated supporter. It's got heal ability. It's got the ability to protect. There's a beautiful Earthquake to get away from the Side Strike and Side Shock. Just stunning everyone as the Queen trying to find a way in, but no such luck. As Zacian's just gonna rip that Regieleki all by themselves, but we got another 4v5 situation encompassing inside this bottom path. Whether Leftovers, if you want to take it, doesn't matter. It means that Do You Like Pineapple is going to force the situation for them.
And look at that, the combo of your night moves from Leftover OP obliterates what was in that bottom lane, buddy. They recognize, hey, somebody's on that top Lecky. It's been taken, so we can take this as a 5v4. Do you like Pineapple? Push it, and then Leftover OP use all their Unite moves to clean that up, and all of a sudden, we have a close ball game here, buddy. They get the objective, global experience for them as well, and it could go either way.
55 points between these two heading on to the 3-minute mark. Look at where Darkarian is. Lapras is in there trying to get that bubble beam, but there's nobody else behind them. Just because you want to scout, you want to make sure you're not giving away this experience. These defenders are playing from the front. We said it earlier. Everyone wants to play that aggressive style because it just means you can maintain control throughout the entire map. 202, 147, 3 minutes have just passed. Unite is going to be off the clock. Beats gets caught here and taken down. Leftovers OP showing the aggression as we head closer and closer to Rayquaza.
I saw that pincer movement happening on the map as we were looking elsewhere, buddy. I was like, oh no, Mama Swine, you're going to get caught out. It is, again, the aggressive stance from Leftover. They are looking for these KOs, buddy. They are looking for where Do You Like Pineapple is. But 30 seconds from Rayquaza might not be the right decision to go for a team fight here. We'll have to see, because they're going to dive on in as Volta looks to see if they can find Nils. They do manage to get on out of there. Side strike comes through, hits on. They get onto the pad, and with Daddy Leon being there, this should be the retreat you're looking for, because Beach has managed to find them with the Ice Fang as well. Tafari's literally stuck in that back lane. Greninja's so weak right now, they have to retreat. Get set, because guess what? Here comes the Rayquaza in 5 seconds.
5 seconds to go. There is low health on the board for all of these teammates. Queen, Serena is going to get healed up by Comfy. Lapra's going to stay in that front area. Again, we now know the situations. 55 points between these two. They're protecting against possibly the back cap coming from the Lapras, who can Lapras Express their way right in. But this is a patient Rayquaza game. We saw in the previous game, Do You Like Pineapple? They were patient. They had a Regieleki walking into home pad. No such win condition. They're going to have to take the fight. Sargent has entered the fray, and it's about to pop this off, Tano.
I like the approach from Leftover. They're just going to go for the fight here instead. We see the World Burst Shokin coming on in, but guess what? Worst Nightmare has been popped. Volto is currently frozen. They're not able to go for the rest of this fight as Daddy looks to clean up the rest of Leftover OP. They find the carries except Serena. We also have Greninja ready to dive back in as well. Volto, though, can they do enough as Traffy tries to rain down the fire from the outskirts? No, they can't. With Serena being taken out, you've just got to wait to get the secure or go for this next fight.
I mean, Traffy does have access to that Comfort again, almost hitting that level 15. We got 56 seconds. There is possibly going to have to be a refight. Do You Like Pineapple can wait this out. They are 55 points to the good, but we know once that 2-minute mark comes through, 55 points don't mean squat. Zapdos is back in, and I think, Tano, my friend, we're about to go for round number 2 here in this game number 2.
Oh, that we are, buddy. There's a Comfey Unite move, but guess what? It's Zacian that's come out on top of that legendary fight, and now the approach comes in for the flank. Akira goes down. There's not enough tank here to protect the damage raining on through, but Volto! Oh my god, the carries were there, buddy. It's a double KO for Traffy. Volto cleans up the rest, and they get the Rayquaza. They grab this game out of the jaws of defeat. We've got 10 seconds here now. That 46 is going to go in, but we got 3 hundo burgers that are going to through. Is it enough?
Leftovers OP are cooking in the kitchen. Let's go. I think that has to be game number 2 for Leftovers OP. What a turnaround at that second fight at Rayquaza. Leftovers OP securing the 2 KO streak, managing to take out, I believe, Bida and Beach as well, which meant Daddy and Skull were the only ones left. And Nils was the only one left on the board, with Volto coming through. Beautiful 78k damage. Bro, the queen wearing her crown. She reigns supreme.
What a way to flip it around, buddy. I mean, Volto just showcasing how, yeah, they've been around Pokemon Unite for a while, buddy. They've played on some pretty damn good teams, and here they are for Leftover OP. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, Traffy and Volto had managed to wipe out majority of Do You Like Pineapple. As you said, Nils was the only one left. They were 1 HP in a dream as well. All they could do was go and score whilst the rip was on, because they were never going to be able to secure that.
I mean, they nearly got taken out by the Rayquazas or Raging Twisters once that Rayquaza was secure, but still managing to get those points in. What a I want to say a stark contrast between game number 1 and 2 as we go through some of these highlights. In game number 1, we saw Do You Like Pineapple kind of have more control. We saw a little bit more of that this time around in game number 2, but Leftovers OP decided that they weren't going to fall for the same tricks. Aggressive on the back foot, aggressive on the front foot, and what I really want to point out is how patient they were at Rayquaza. They lost the first fight. You saw, I believe, Traffy was alive and had access to that Comfey towards the ending of that first fight, but I believe made the smart decision to leave the Rayquaza pit as Comfey was coming in, heal back up, wait for its teammates, instead of going for what, you see Greninjas usually do, and that's go for the KOs on weaker Pokemon. So fantastic job by Traffy and Volta to clean that up for their team. Shoutouts to Comfey as well. That floral necklace does a lot of utility, especially in this game. But Bida also managed to put up 78k healing on an Eldegoss. We haven't seen Eldegoss in months, years. Has it been years? Probably been years. It could have been years. I don't know.
I mean, I have always said and always will say, yes, Blissey is in the game, but Eldegoss will always be the queen of support in Pokemon Unite. It just does so much. It can do damage. The healing is great. The Unite move is huge for team fights. I just think it's always going to be a great pickup, and I like the adjustment from Do You Like Pineapple to throw this into the second game, but now it's Fearless Draft, Lobo. So already we see that adjustment, right?
So, yeah. It's so exciting because now 10 Pokemon are off the board for both teams. Like, again, let's put this into perspective. You can play the same Pokemon that the other team has played. You just cannot play the same Pokemon that you have played. And we'll get the graphic up, obviously, when we see it as we go through draft as to what Pokemon are off the board. But whilst we wait for the game to get set up, let's go through some other players, I guess. Why not? Like, Do You Like Leftovers OP? Because we were talking about, let's talk about Volto. Favorite Pokemon? Serena. I mean, it was there in the game. And the playstyle is chilled and stay focused. We saw that as well. The wherewithal to see two of the hard carries on the side of Do You Like Pineapples go in with the drop kick and then into the triple axle to keep themselves healed as well. And goal is qualify for Worlds, man. These guys, even though we say this is grassroots style and people are still learning, people are still developing, that ambition for everyone in this community, whether, I guess whether you're a player, whether you're doing production, whether you're even us as casters, that goal is always going to be Worlds. And I think, man, performances like that, keep it going. And then I just want to talk about Darkira TTV, favorite Pokemon, Blastoise. The tank. You got to do it. I mean, I love it. And then obviously a goal is to qualify for Worlds. So those are two other players on the side of Leftovers OP. Buddy, do you want to take us through the other two players on the side of Do You Like Pineapple, just so that we get to know some of these wonderful players that we're witnessing, because they're putting on some fantastic performances.
Yeah, well, again, Do You Like Pineapple? They're very personable, buddy. As we have a look at some of these other taglines that we were given by some of these players. Beach, of course, they're known as a tank player. Their player game style in one sentence was, I flash and jump in every bush I see. And we literally see Beach doing that. They go into every bush they can, try and grab anyone they can in their arms. Great defender play, great tank play from Beach. And their tagline, buddy, when I say I like jungle, I mean the enemies. That is Beach in a nutshell.
That's so apropos, because we saw Beach lurking around the enemy team's central area both games. So I love the fact that these taglines are just representative of these players. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's so fantastic. Go on, give us another one.
I agree. I mean, their achievements, they've got top 9 during monthlies and regionals. Their whole time, now, of course, this team, they want to be going to Worlds, buddy. That is why they're putting in this practice. We're currently in off-season, chat, right? Worlds happened this month, actually, a couple of weeks ago. And, it's technically last week?
It was last week. I'm pretty sure it was last week.
I feel like it's been 84 years since last week.
We've aged since Worlds came on. We are different people.
I mean, considering the fact that it was on till like 3 a.m. where I'm at, bro, and I watched as much of it as I possibly could. I can't remember that week, but Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tony. You woke up at 3 a.m. Please tell me what that's like, waking up at 3 a.m. to be part of Pokemon Unite. Tell me. Explain it to me, buddy. Explain to me your struggles.
The dedication is noted, bro. For anyone in chat, Lobo's currently in Australia, and it's ridiculously early over there.
It has just hit 6 a.m. It is just, and my neighbors are hating me. But again, we have to go through this again. We have 20 Pokemon, well, 10 each, 20 Pokemon off the board in total. 10 Pokemon for each team. Again, we haven't seen a lot of the most meta picks, but what I'm finding interesting, Tana, is that across both games, the bans stayed the same.
Yeah.
Ho-Oh, Suicune, Blissey, and I'm missing one.
I got it up on the screen here, bro. Charizard.
I mean, of course, I'm gonna miss the most popular starter in Pokemon history. But again, do you think we're actually going to see those Pokemon stay through? Because those Pokemon are quite strong in this current meta. Suicune, the CC is a nightmare coming out from that Pokemon. Whirlpool, just able to actually not only throw Whirlpool out, but be able to reposition it so that it can actually chase is nuts. But Charizard is a different monster entirely. Having access to not only 2 stun bruiser moves, but then also having access to 2 ranged attack moves that cause AoE damage, and then the Unite move. Seismic Slam is just a problem, isn't it?
It is, mate. This is it. I've been saying it for weeks and weeks, and if not years, actually. Doesn't matter what Charizard is like as a Pokemon, whether it's been nerfed, whether it's good, whether it's bad. If that Unite move is still the way it is for Charizard, if it's still on a low cooldown, it's still going to be that strong, you will always be justified picking up that Pokemon because it's so impactful in team fights and you get it so often. You can have it for every team fight once you become Charizard. It's going to be a must pick, buddy. That's why it's banned so much. That's why so many teams pick it up as a Pokemon from the first pick in the game. It's ridiculously good. Now, thinking about this Fearless Draft, yes, we've got 20 Pokemon in total that are going to be banned coming into this, 10 each team. This is just game 3 of a best of 5. So whoever wins this isn't going to win the best of 5, buddy. We're going to have to go to the game 4 no matter what. It's one apiece here. So we're going to end up with 40 Pokemon banned in the entirety of this. So
and let's keep this in mind. Last time I counted, there were 75 Pokemon in the game, and that's not including Latias as well, and it wasn't including Alcremie. It doesn't include the 2 forms of Urshifu. It doesn't include Scizor and Scyther, who are also, it's one Unite license, but you get access to 2 Pokemon. So there's a lot of Pokemon still left to be played, and when we say 40, we mean total. Each team still has access to more Pokemon, but it's kind of ridiculous that even through all the Pokemon that you can choose, the fact that the drafts have stayed the same, that Suicune, Charizard, Blissey, I'm missing another one. What did I miss? Suicune, Charizard, Blissey, Ho-Oh!
Hey.
It was Ho-Oh. It was her. I got there. Just, it's early, Chad.
I was going to do some Santa reference, mate. I know it's Ho.
No, don't you do. No, don't you do.
Ho, ho,
but
ho.
again, ho, ho, ho. Christmas is right around the corner. But again, the fact that these Pokemon are constantly being banned is just people don't want to deal with them. So take the entire Unite roster minus your bans. And again, the fact that the whole point I'm trying to make in this roundabout circus of Lobo's thoughts right now is the fact that our Unite roster is so massive that think about where we started to where we're at now, and the fact that after Worlds we also had 3 more Pokemon announced that are coming to the fray. It's a good time to be a Pokemon Unite fan. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's a good time to be a Mimikyu fan, buddy, because I'm looking at these all-rounders, and they continue to be used. So, it's going to have to come in at some point. It's a great Pokemon in the meta at the moment. I'm feeling the same about, some of the... Well, I mean, Gengar... I love Gengar, but I feel like there's a lot of speedsters that haven't been played yet that are probably more important for these players.
the position that speedsters are in this current format is so good.
Yeah.
I feel like they're being outshined by the all-rounders just a little bit more because of the current impact that all-rounders are having on the game, which they're just so hard to get rid of. They're so hard to take down. Whether you have, we haven't seen Metagross yet. We haven't seen Leafeon yet. I'm gonna try and say that name without cringing. We have, like you said, we haven't seen Mimikyu, we haven't seen Dodrio, we haven't seen Scyther yet. We've seen Sizzle, we haven't seen Scyther. So again, a lot of Pokemon that we're so used to seeing, but we haven't seen just yet. But also, we could see Decidueye, we could see Delphox come to the fray. We could see a whole host of Pokemon, buddy. We could see Mewtwo X come out.
Oh, bro. I don't need the nightmare. I don't need the PTSD. What we are gonna do, chat? We've been yapping and yapping because we're just having a little bit of issues with one of the players trying to reconnect. It's Pokemon Unite. They're probably on a Switch 1. Do you know what I mean? So let's head to a quick break and we'll be back with you very shortly, guys.
We're gonna have to talk about that comp.
This is the beginning of something different. Welcome to Engage Unite Fight Club, the new battleground for Europe's most dangerous new rosters. Powered by INGAGE GG, we're not just building another league, we're creating Europe's most competitive, highest quality grassroots esports ecosystem. We kick off by announcing the return of the ever so popular Fearless Draft ruling, enabling all involved in widening their experience with the Pokémon pool available. Every round will be a best of 5. The data will be analysed and reported. Opportunities will beckon. How? With a first of its kind performance grading system. Players' performance data and live gameplay will determine their grade from E all the way up to grade S. Everyone will start from scratch and work their way up. Now, Engage doesn't just do this for show. These grades build your resume. It's visibility for scouts, teams, orgs, a true career accelerator that says who you are and what you bring. Add in a live leaderboard, team strength index, and player reviews, and the path to the top has never been clearer. It doesn't end there. For all the spectators of Engage UFC, draft your favorites in our fantasy league, earn rewards, and support rising stars every week. Plus, European player awards, full player lore, and live interaction stats. Because every click, every clutch, every round matters. Twice a week, best of 5, no fillers, just fire. This is INGAGE Unite Fight Club, and Europe, we're just getting started. Hello everyone and welcome back. You got me with that one, Lobo.
I had to say it. Welcome back, everybody. It is Fight Night, baby! And we are on game number 3. We were talking about the drafts before. They are staying exactly the same. Looks like both got off the board. Get it out of here. Ain't no one want to see the dragon that's not a dragon. Blissey Ho, Suicune, and Charizard are your bans. Once again, have a look at the bottom of the screen, chat. Those are the Pokemon that are not allowed to be played because Fearless Draft is here. Beach is going to be hopping into those bushes, I think, to the umpteenth number in this game at Tano, because they have picked up that Snorlax.
Yeah, so they're on the strongest defender as a strong defender player, and it seems like they're locking in now. I do like Pineapple. It's one of those moments where they're like, we've lost that one game, we need to keep our advantage. So that's the approach that they're taking here, buddy. But I'm just looking at this Fearless Draft and looking at the amount of all-rounders that have been used, and it's not as many as we initially thought, or at least not for leftovers here. They've got what? The Lucario, and we see the Serena, and that is it all-rounder-wise. So a huge pool that they still have to use for those strong all-rounders.
Buzzwole? You missed Buzzwole, buddy.
What, on leftover side? No,
on
on leftover
sorry,
side.
you're talking leftover side. My apologies. My apologies. I thought he was talking nonsense. Was my casting colleague. But look at this draft as we've got Daddy picking up the Mewtwo Y. Nils got that Lucario coming through. Trappy, we were talking about this just before. Your favorite Pokemon is the mischievous Gengi one. The Gengar gonna come through. Now I'm curious to get your thoughts as I am actively avoiding what I'm seeing on the opposite team right now, because I want to see if we're going to get a Hex or a Shadow Ball build coming through, but also the bigger blue button. Dark Cure is going to pick up the Glaceon, and I'm going to let you deal with whatever's happening on Do You Like Pineapple side. Go on, you take it.
Buddy, I mean, we see this all the time. Whenever an EU team feels backed into a corner and, you know, like they need to really get a win, we see this Zorak Comfy come out. I mean, I've played, you know, in this EU region since the game released. I am still having nightmares of Zorak Comfy Lane. I hate it. I want this Pokemon yeeted out of this game, but I love how much of a skill expression it really can be. And, you know, Skull, one of the most skillful players here on that Pokemon. It's going to be a scary threat for leftovers to see that.
Yeah, it is, but look at what can be dealt. When you look at a Zorak Comfy, what is the way that you're going to have to deal with it? One, it's so quick at getting away that if you can lock it down, that's what Glaceon is there for. Another thing, if you can push it out of its combo, which is assumedly what Volto is planning to do with that Blastoise, you can try and stop it in the middle of its combo. But I think the main thing is that once everybody decides to focus the Zorak and Comfy, that is exactly what the team wants you to do, because you're not focusing on the rest of the team with Nils, Daddy, and Beach on that Snorlax, Mewtwo, and Lucario. All three Pokemon able to cause as much damage as the other. But if you don't focus that Zorak Comfy combination, it just is able to snowball. And we've seen it in every game that it's played, whether it's been on a losing team or a winning team. That Zorak Comfy, it sets the pace of the match, because it comes in, it comes out, it does exactly what a speedster is supposed to do. But you know what? Stop it with the Comfy. That's all I have to say. But again, it's such a powerful combination, and watching Zorak players really feeling their groove when they get going on this Pokemon, it's just a joy to watch, buddy.
Now, I did peek the fact that they've pulled in the sub here on the side of Do You Like Pineapple, so it's going to be Indigo on that Comfy, buddy, for Skull. But, you know, it's a Comfy. They know what they need to do. They know who they need to lock onto. But I'll be conscious to see, we might be having a couple of issues here, so we'll probably go to a quick pause. But I'd be conscious to see if Indigo's going to take the same approach that we see from Bido, where they hop off and take damage for their teammates, so they don't get, you know, KO'd or anything like that. That's what I like to see from these Comfy players.
No, I agree with you. Comfy being able to absorb either Unite moves or different damage type moves. So Zorak, you know, if it's going to get stunned or anything else like that, it is just going to go through. And it's just most people, I think, when they think of Comfy, is just it's an AFK Pokemon. But I really, really think a skilled Comfy player is probably going to be super, super useful to any team, and not just staying on the Zorak, being able to heal up any other of the players as well. We have just been informed there was a player disconnect as well, so we are going to restart the lobby, but it's Sableye in our systems. I don't know if we're going to take a break until the player gets disconnected, or if we're just going to sit here and yap the live long day. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way that the draft went out for both people. Obviously, there are highlights on either side, and there are obviously counters from the side of Leftovers OP to that Zorak Comfy combination. How do you see it playing out, Tano?
Well, what I love is we're in game 3 here, buddy, and with this Fearless Draft, we're still seeing some very strong Pokemon coming out to play, and that tells me that Pokemon Unite is actually in a pretty good stance with its Pokemon, with its meta, with its balancing at the moment. There are some Pokemon that are still ridiculously broken, I agree. Everybody is going to hate me, but I still think Snorlax needs a bit of a nerf. Everyone will hate me, but I think it's just so ridiculously good.
Walk me through that one, Tano. Walk me through that one. Grab my hand, and walk me through the Snorlax needing a nerf.
I am dealing with trauma, okay? And the trauma is Snorlax. In my community games that I do on a Tuesday, there is a certain couple of players that love to go on that Pokemon and run at me with Flail and just absolutely pawn on me for the entirety of the game, bro. So I'm feeling the pain that is Snorlax.
Snorlax, for me, is an interesting spot. It's very good early game. It has, again, Tackle, I would say, alongside Water Gun, Blissey's Pound, some of the best secure moves in the game. But what I really do enjoy about Snorlax is that for me, I want to say this, I've never really thought about this, but if I'm on the spot, for me, Snorlax has to be one of the best invade Pokemon on the roster. Not only does it have a very, very bulky HP stat very early on, Tackle, and then its boosted auto is able to do damage to a central laner who is, again, I want to say fairly squishy in the early points in that game. And so Snorlax being able to deal with that, again, and be such a nuisance, but then also, I would put it alongside, I would say, Hooper, in terms of probably the two best invade Pokemon, and when I talk about invade Pokemon, I'm not talking about just stealing the enemy team's buffs. I'm talking about full hindrance, stopping your Urshifus, your Blazikins, your Aegislashes, anything that's in that central area that's not an EV that requires a level 5 evolution or is a 2-stage evolution can be hindered immensely by an invade. And like, invades are some of the funnest things that we can actually watch in Pokemon Unite, and I just don't think they utilize enough, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more me, reacting to how much I get absolutely slaughtered by that Pokemon and the trauma of it. But I mean, most of the defenders are in a pretty good position at the moment. I've heard calls for Ho-Oh to get nerfed because, the thing just doesn't die. That's why we see it banned all the time. There's still calls for Suicune to be nerfed. But all in all, when you look at this roster, as a whole, Lobo, I mean, 72 Pokemon or something ridiculous like that, right? That we've got in this game right now?
I think we're closer to 80 right now. I think it was 70, yeah, it was like 76, 78 at last count. And I think we're getting closer to that 80 mark. I mean, once we get to 100, the crazy part? Once we get to the 100 mark in Pokemon Unite, we're still only like less than 10% of the way for the entire Pokedex.
I mean, do they add Golden Go for the 100? Like, I don't know.
Don't do this to me, because I want to surf. Golden Go, one of my favorite Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, and it has such a fun gimmick when it's in Scarlet and Violet, where it surfs around on a golden surfboard. Yep. So, and I think Make It Rain could be fun. It not only does your Unite move go off, but it gives your entire team a full stack of Eos energy. Yeah, there it is. There you go, Timmy. There you go.
That's smart. Yeah. That's smart, bro. I like that.
Let's talk about some of these nerfs as we are waiting for some of these players to come through. Pokemon that really do need nerfs. One, we talked about it, Ho-Oh. It's almost an impossible Pokemon to take down. Flamethrower is such a good build that just keeps it sustained, but also you really can't pin it down, especially if it's going with that Sky Attack moveset as well. So it is a very, very difficult Pokemon to deal with, but also Rekindling Flame, Revival Blessing, whatever you want to call it, Rebirth. It is a Unite move that, based on your Eos energy, just revives the entire team. And again, possibly a few nerfs would be nice as well. We talked about Suicune, and the big one I want to talk about right now, Latios. Nerf it.
Okay.
Nerf it into the ground. Nerf it into the ground.
I don't know. I feel like it is very much a kind of like solo queue monster, and a ranked monster is Latios. In these in these tournament games, I don't think it's been that effective, buddy. I was having a conversation with Ultimate that play in the EUL, and they were saying they're not even scared about it. It's a Pokemon that has to get stacks to be impactful in the late game. If it doesn't, it's completely pointless, which is an interesting perspective to have on that Pokemon that I feel, I'm with you, is very, very strong. But we're going to go into this game here and do a redraft, buddy. We had a couple of issues. No wonder we saw so many attackers on the side of leftover OP then. Yeah,
I agree with you. So this redraft is going to be interesting, but due to the disconnect, so obviously, you know, a redraft does make sense here. Beach is still going to stick with that Snorlax coming through. Nolan and LaCarette are going to go, I believe, the same first two picks that they picked. So perhaps towards the end of the draft, we're going to see it. But for me, it's really hard to place Alcremie because I haven't seen it enough. I've seen it in ranked games. I've seen it in solo queue where it can either use moveset. For me, I don't know where I'd place it on that tier list of supporters right now. I can see where it can be strong. I can also see where it might not be that useful. I believe it's Decorate, the moveset that just drops cakes on the ground. I do like that. The healing from that is great. Its Unite move is stunning too. But for me, I'm just finding a hard place to place it just because it hasn't been in the game that long. Volta's going to pick up that Buzzswole. Daddy and Nils going to pick up Lucario and Mewtwo. And I have a feeling we're going to see that Zoroark and Comfey combination once more.
Yeah, I think the issue was Dakira ended up with a Glaceon. And Traffy ended up with the Gengar, mate. So I think that's probably where the connection issue was. Because I was like, wait, you've got your tank player on a Glaceon? Okay, fair play. Let's try that. But no, here it is. Blastoise, actually their favorite Pokemon to play out here as well. So pretty hyped that they get access to that in this third game, that it's currently tied 1 apiece. And Do You Like Pineapple are going to go on a different route here, buddy. Indigo's going to lock in the Clefable. Skull is bringing out the Metagross. I think one of the most underrated all-rounders in this game at the moment.
I think we say that a lot, that Metagross is an underrated all-rounder, but the fact that Metagross just does not get KO'd, it doesn't need to see Nurse Joy. It's got great healthcare. It doesn't need to see Nurse Joy, and it's got Indigo there on that Clefable. I really like this with the double all-rounder and Clefable combination. Clefable is an AoE healer with that Moonlight, but also having access to that Gravity is going to stop Buzzswole from doing a lot of movement, getting in and out, which means it's going to get trapped in. Traffy's choice here, however, is one that excites me because I am seeing a Rapid Fire Scarf, a Scope Lens, and a Muscle Band on that Decidueye. What are the chances? And my sleep-deprived state is not pushing any of this. What are the chances that we see a Razor Leaf Decidueye come out?
I think likely, because I think you've got to accept the fact that you are going to have a lot of all-rounders in your face. I'm looking at the comp that we have on the side of Leftover here, buddy, and I don't think they have enough front line to justify having those two ranged attackers. You know, you do have the Alcremie there, a Buzzwole, and a Blastoise. Now, Alcremie isn't as tanky of a support as you have these other, you know, the Blissies, the Clefables, your Wigglytuffs, your Mr. Mimes. I feel like not enough frontline to protect that Decidueye to go Spirit Shackle here, to be honest, Lobo. So I'm kind of with you. I'm thinking the Razor Leaf might be coming out of this Decidueye.
The only thing that doesn't compute for me, and this is purely on an item-based thing, is a lot of the time we do see Razor Leaf Decidueyes run that Drain Crown, especially considering since it's buffed recently. So, you know, not only dealing big amounts of damage, but also able to heal yourself up. It could be very interesting to see. That's why I love this feeling. We want to see Decidueye, but we're going to pop right into the action. Decidueye, Metagross going to take your central lane as Buzzwole going to be paired with the little cream puff itself, as Lucario is going to take all that farm for itself.
Yeah, again, the level 5 battle ensues here in the top lane. Doesn't manage to get that one. Nils does. Instead, Indigo already here as Clefable. So Do You Like Pineapple having the better side of this top lane so far?
I agree with you 100%, and this is the problem I want to say between the two central laners. Their second stage evolutions are vastly different. I want to say Metang is in its second stage is much better at the moment than a Dartrix is, because Dartrix doesn't have access to any of those rapid fire moves. It can just A-press right now, but Mew is here to help out. There goes the Gyro Ball. But as I say, I'm going to eat my words as Metang goes down. East Speed Lucario is going to try and pick up some KOs, but Mew doesn't let it happen. Dartrix makes me eat my words.
That was such a shame for Do You Like Pineapple, buddy. There were two moments there that just did not go their way at all. We saw the continued rip coming in from that Dartrix. Matang did get a couple of gyro balls off, and if they just managed to connect properly with that final one, the Dartrix might not have been there. But on top of that, the hit from the E-Speed Lucario just didn't connect on the final one, and they'd have got a triple KO. So a complete difference now, and Leftovers have that domination. They're now well back into this early game.
Is that my fault? Did I put the curse on? I think I might have put the curse on.
Maybe, bro.
Do You Like Pineapple? Do You Like Pineapple just managing to secure that? But we do have a Decidueye. We haven't seen what move it's going to play just yet. Perhaps Spirit Shackle in this instance could work, but the amount of burst and rip damage that comes out from just a Razor. It is Razor Leaf! We are seeing Razor Leaf come out from Decidueye. I am so excited. I want to see how well they're able to do, because there's so much suppressive ability coming out from the side of Do You Like Pineapple, and they do not have their Blastoise here in this top pad, where Do You Like Pineapple wants to just take all of this farm. But look at this. Alcremie and Mew are the targets. Decidueye needs to not make sure it doesn't get caught out.
What a perfect hit by Daddy Leon. Manages to connect onto Mew there with the side strike, and now Beach is just going to take a quick nap. Clefable has been defeated though, as Volto continues to cut the rest of this team. But look at this. Daddy Leon is raining down the destruction, buddy. Gyro Ball comes through and Nils cleans it on up. What a moment to connect as a trio in this top lane. Do You Like Pineapple have dominated it.
Mewtwo just waited for Decidueye to step out of that pad and make sure to actually, because it went after the KO on the Snorlax and got taken down. Its damage was dealt by Nils on that Lucario. E-Speed Lucario, very dangerous for a Decidueye. But again, you saw the amount of damage that a Snorlax took with just healing up on the enemy team's pad because of that Razor Leaf, and it's about to get pushed up and slammed down by the Buzzwole.
Oh, if that was anything but a Buzzwole, I feel like Beach may have got themselves out of that one, buddy. I felt that slam coming on back, but here we have the Lecky approaching that T2 pad for Leftover OP. Mew's just there to defend it. That is going to go in, but the quick rip from Traffy is going to get the Regirock here for Leftovers. A global experience, and now they want to rip down the rest of Do You Like Pineapple. Clefable isn't there to provide that healing, and they have to go on the retreat. This seems to be working for Leftover OP.
I think that was a smart decision by Volto to really signal out the Clefable. Clefable not only getting slammed by Buzzwole, but then being shredded down by those Razor Leafs. Super important, because even it can't out-sustain, it can't out-heal the damage that Razor Leaf is putting on. When you take Clefable out of the game, Metagross becomes a little bit easier to take down, as well as Lucario has to make sure that it can't just go in willy-nilly with those E-Speeds. But Decidueye proving good, but this scoreline, 139-76, almost doubling their score, is Do You Like Pineapple, but it does not look like Leftovers OP are going to give this up any which way.
I do like that approach though, mate. You're absolutely right. The rip from that Razor Leaf is so quick that without a healer, your team really struggles to keep up with it. We may be seeing them getting caught out here though. There's the Compute and Crush coming on through. We do see them try and get that Alchemy Surprise raining on down, but Clefable blasts them away anyway. Hydro Typhoon is going to come through as well. Beach pushes them up all the way to the wall, but still, look at the Razor Leaf rain. It's a Gatling gun, buddy. Skull has to dive on in to shut them back down to that Pokemon Center, but still, Leftover OP finds the KOs, and with Dakira pushing that Mewtwo back into the central area, they clean that up as well.
Takira was absolutely key there, not only pushing Mewtwo into the wall, but then Hydro pumping it back towards so that Mew could get the Electro Ball and boosted auto as KO. Decidueye did a fantastic job, but once again, I think Takira just wasn't there so that Metagross was able to eject, but there goes the Razor Leaf combination alongside Alcremie to just shred down that Lucario. Look at how far back they're standing, because these Razor Leafs could start popping any minute. Takira is there just absorbing all that damage, pushes Metagross towards his enemy team. The Infinite Cyber does come out. The Mewtwo gets the KO on the Decidueye with assistance from the block, and a Reg Ice is going to be very helpful for that Clefable.
The difficulty that they have, though, is that the second this Decidueye gets isolated and KO'd, it's a completely different team fight, mate. And it feels like Do You Like Pineapple, as soon as they find that important KO, it's more on their side. It's one of those where they have to keep their range, and they've managed it so far, but it's all about the pushes that we're seeing from this Snorlax. The jump on over, trying to isolate that carry. We do see the Alchemy Supreme coming on out here, trying to provide that start healing, but Compute and Crush is going to set them back to the Pokemon Center. And now we have an approach from Do You Like Pineapple onto the pad. Indigo trying to sneak a 7 in against the Razor Leaf. They use that Moonlight, tried to get themselves out of there, but Decidueye is going to clean it all up anyway. And on the flank is none other than the ultimate Swole. And Leftover OP have aced Do You Like Pineapple.
Walter was in that top lane dealing with that Regieleki. I had no idea where they came from. That flank was absolutely brutal. Traffy managing to stay awake, but I have to say, all props here are going to Dakira. The surfs are pinpoint accurate. I mean, it's a wide hitbox, but I'm not going to take anything away from Dakira. And there, Snorlax gets caught out and put down. Decidueye might just be a little too far out here, but they're trying to put that damage on. Traffy doing a brilliant job. The positioning from the side of Leftovers OP. I want to say, Tano, as we cross that 3-minute mark right now, Unite Move is going to be off the table, 149 to 201, as Leftovers OP have taken the lead. It is almost night and day between game number 1 and game number 3 that we're seeing right now. How different a victory can shift the way that you're playing, because now Leftovers OP, they seem to be playing with confidence. They've got these strategies, and they're very, very secure in these strategies, because we've got 20 seconds till Rayquaza spawns.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was concerned about not having all the frontline you needed for this Decidueye to run this Razor Leaf, but the crowd control that they've been using on the side of Leftover OP has been on point. We have seen the target selection from Dakira being so important. Volto may have been caught out here, though, as we see it. They do use the eject button to get away. Dakira has to retreat as well. The block was there. Knock Knock comes through. Oh, the Swole Slam, trying to see if they can find the Lucario, pairing that with the Hydro Typhoon, and that's exactly what they do, buddy. They managed to take down Metagross as well. Volto somehow is still in this fight, using the super power to slam down onto Indigo. The huge beam comes through from Mew. There's the boosted as well. Beach is going to absorb it, but Leftover OP somehow get caught out in that bush and still come out on top of this team fight.
Volto being able to survive is absolutely nightmarish. Oh my god, what a beam from off the screen. As Volto does pick up Clefable now as well. This fight is going to continue because Leftover OP are 50 points to the good. They do not need this Rayquaza, but Decidueye is back now. Volto is almost back to full health. Alcremie putting in the hard yards. The stun coming through. Volto is in, and there is Beach as well. They're going for another fight as well. Solomion's coming through alongside the Razor Leaf. Compute Crush is up again. Volto gets felled, but the Razor Leafs are doing the job. And Decidueye has to pop the eject. It's still alive. Oh, Cannon managing to take it down. 50 seconds. Beach is the one keeping Leftovers OP in this, but the final takedown from Lucario. But now, Do You Like Pineapple going to turn to the rib?
They're going for the rib here. Snorlax straight into that central area, trying to cut off any approach that's coming on in. Alchemy is here. They've just got to pull him away. Enough for Mew to get on in there, but Snorlax was waiting for it, buddy. Is the beam going to work? No! It's Clefable from Do You Like Pineapple, who does find it. Indigo captures the Rayquaza, and now they can reign in Hundo Burgers. But what a fantastic game 3 that ended up being.
Holy Arceus in high heaven. What a turnaround for that one. I thought the beam was going to secure it, but Indigo was the sub we mentioned coming in for Vita as well. And oh wow, what a performance to secure that in your first game. Wow, we have so much to cover in those highlights, buddy.
I'm impressed by Traffy's play there, to be honest with you. But the Decidueye, the Razor Leaf Decidueye is not easy to play when you have so many Pokemon trying to run straight at you and shut you down. You had Nils on that Lucario, Daddy Leon on the Mewtwo Y, and then Skull on that Metagross that were really trying to target Traffy. But they still managed to rain down 85k damage for their team on a Pokemon that doesn't have much maneuverability, mate. So I'm impressed.
Look at the damage. 68 coming out from Volto, 85 coming out from Traffy, 93 coming out from Nolan, and Kira on a tank doing 61. And that led to Indigo's healing, I think almost doing 155k healing. And it was all down to Lucario in the last minutes. If Decidueye stays alive, that's a different ballgame. We talked about it. Decidueye is so pivotal to that point. But I want to say, the most pivotal Pokemon in that entire comp was, I believe it was Beach on the Blastoise. Is it Beach on the Blastoise? I could be wrong.
Beach is on the Snorlax. Dakira.
Beach is on the Snorlax. Dakira. My apologies. Dakira on that Blastoise. My apologies. It's very hard to see some of the names sometimes, even though they were just on my screen. But again, the Decidueye actually making it out a lot of the time on an HP and a dream, like we call it. But again, as we look at some of these highlights, look at where Dakira is. The isolation coming through into the Hydro Typhoon alongside the Alcremie Unite, and there's the I want to say machine gun like rapid fire from the Decidueye is crazy here.
Yeah, I mean, I know we have Gatling Gulp missile from Cramorant, but I think they may be taking a little bit of that Gatling too. Personally, mate, the Razor Leafs were just annihilated, and Leftover OP have bounced back really strong here, but you got to give it to Do Like Pineapple. It felt like that team fight, that final sort of team fight, Leftover had found the connections, they'd found the KOs, but it was this approach here. We see Volto go on in with Daikira as well, but it's none other than Skull that throws up that Compute and Crush, isolates those two really important Pokemon for Leftover OP, and then Do You Like Pineapple just cleaned them up. And without those two Pokemon in that fight anymore, we had nothing protecting the ranged attackers. Nothing was protecting Traffy, nothing was protecting Nolan, and we ended up with a situation that we did, buddy. So you got to give it to Do You Like Pineapple.
That's secure. Again, I thought we saw Mew come through on the minimap. And again, fantastic job by Beach as well. They knew who was going to be up first because Mew was the only Pokemon left alive. They had to retreat back to home base to heal. They knew they had time on their side. The rip, I want to say, was just a little bit slow from Do You Like Pineapple because I think they were aware of the Mew being in that presence, trying to either bait out the Solar Beam, but again, that Solar Beam was so close. I think it had to be a tick damage away between the Clefable, and I don't even know what Clefable got it with. Was it a basic? Was it, I don't know what it could have secured with, but that also, I want to say, the Solar Beam has quite a distance on it, but to, you know, not only map that out from that bush that it was in to the exact point that it was on the Rayquaza, mate, it's a coin flip at that point, and it was a very, very close coin flip.
I think it was the Wonder Wish that they managed to get it with. I'm just seeing the highlights on the Twitch stream now, buddy, just trying to see what it is that they actually use, and it is the Wonder Wish, but I don't know what they used with it. I don't know what they got from it, but either way, what a way to take that win. And now, I mean, look at the state of our Fearless draft stats down here as we go into this fourth game, mate.
This is our first set. This is our first set, and we're very deep into this Fearless draft. But now they have to be a little bit more careful about these bans. We're still seeing Charizard, we're still seeing Suicune, we're still seeing Ho-Oh, but, you know, Blissey is still going to go on the chopping block. So for the last 4 games, these bans have been exactly the same. Again, we got straight into game number 4. No yapping about for us. Dakira is going, my apologies. Leftovers OP going to be picking up first on that orange side. La Colette is going to pick up Hooper. First time they're going to be playing that little trickster. And let's see what Do You Like Pineapples decide to pick up on their side.
What approach do they go for here? Because they have some very strong Pokemon that they can no longer play. What's the first pick? Are you going to go for some crowd control? Is that what Indigo's trying to keep an eye on? But try and pair that with a bit of tank as well. Oh, okay. I like this. You're going to go for the Trevenant, another very strong defender that can be used in both ways. But crowd control, it does all day long. And in game 4, Lobo, they are finally pulling out one of the best picks here, the Latios.
The Latios, yeah, game number 4. Again, you and I had a little bit of a difference of how strong Latios right now is. I think it's more prominent, especially in our solo queue adventures, but we haven't really seen too much impact come out from it in these competitive style games as well. Volto is actually going to pick up the Blaziken. I've seen that performance on the Buzzsaw before. This should scare Do You Like Pineapples on that side, because Blaziken is a tough Pokemon, especially once it gets going. Daddy Leon has picked up the daddy of all Pokemon in Marchamp as well. Don't at me. I said what I said, buddy.
I'm with you, mate. I'm 100% with you. The daddy of all Pokemon, Machamp. Will we see it in the central area, how I like to run it? We'll have to see. But looking on the side of leftover OP, how do you approach this? You want your own ranged attacker. Nolan picking up the Inteleon could be straight for that. Traffy is going to lock in the Gengar. I love it. I'm such a massive fan. Whether that's the call for the Speedster, though, I'm not sure. You have Absol there. You've got the Zoroark, even Zeraora that I think does a bit better here. Oh, bro.
No. Inteleon, I think, is going to have a rough game, but I'm going to pull another one out of the hat because we got the Decidueye right last game. Liquidation Inteleon. Just putting it out there. There. Because not only do we have Submission Machamp, which is unstoppable, and not only are you in position and you cannot move when you're using Inteleon Snapshot, you've also got TT Bone and Indigo with that dreaded combination of Zoroark and Comfey. Having a little bit of hardcore ability on that Inteleon and also getting a sure hit coming through as well, which, you know, because we've got the dash coming out from Nils on Latios. It could work. I'm not saying it's the optimal solution. Do not at me. I'm not saying it's the optimal play. I'm just saying it's possible. Oh my god. As if we didn't need any more reason to call Machamp Daddy. That skin that Daddy Leon is playing has to be purely intentional going into this next game.
Oh, you know it, bro. I am with you, though. I think the liquidation might be a good shout here. We'll have to see whether they go for it. But again,
could work.
Will Traffy go for the Hex Gengar? Because that's going to be great for ripping down someone like Beach going on into that. And then you can go liquidation because you do want that direct hit. You do want the sure hit of it when you've got Pokemon like Skull there on that Zoroark, and you do have Nils there as well with some maneuverability. So we'll have to see, buddy. But we are about to, because this is going to be match 4 between these two teams. They've been cooking all day long, and you can cook as well with the promo code for HelloFresh. Get yourself 10 free meals and free add-ons for life.
Bro, after the best of 5, we definitely need to get ourselves some healthy meals to stay nice and vibrant whilst we cast these beautiful games. Machamp is just going to steal some farm away from Leftover P, but oh my days. Oh, Swinub with the chase down gets a quick KO. Can they get 3 points in? I do believe they can. No, the burn from Little Phantom is not going to allow it, but Ice versus Fire. Who's going to win that one in that bottom lane?
Such an interesting defender battle off down there, buddy. You got Daikira and Beach going at each other. That's going to be exciting to see. But Volto goes in and Nils finds the KO with the Comfey being on the aeroplane. They're going to look for more here as well, but they have to be wary. Traffy is here. They do have the Haunter, rather. Is it going to be Hex? Is it going to be Dream Eater? We are about to find out as Skull dives on in. There goes the Will-O-Wisp. Haven't used the move just yet. All of that farm is going to go on over to Do You Like Pineapple?
I mean, this is just a problem with Zoroark, because once that comes through, look at where it's gonna do some window shopping. It's gonna go across. Haunter, it's got Dream Eater this time round, but Drizzle is here as well. That illusion does take down a big chunk of damage as well. Swinub is going to try and help it out inside that central area. But again, Swinub versus Zoroark is a tough one. We've got Beach here on that Trevenant too. And again, both members get out with taking minimal damage. But Drizzle is here. We've got Bellstinger on the board. So that's probably looking like a snapshot until our liquidation dreams are dashed. But Middle Altari is about to turn up. Who is going to secure this one? I mean, Zoroark's already back to full health.
Yeah, and they feel like they're in a better state right now. Rest of the team, though, isn't here just yet. Haunter doesn't get a chance to even have a peek at those Altaris spawning on in, because they get shut down by none other than the Daddy as they try to dominate this central area. Nolan trying to escape themselves, but Skull is here chasing them right on down. Runs into the rest of the team here, though. Nils is going to go down as well. Leftover OP do get a little bit out of that, buddy, and they do take the score lead.
I get a nice little play by Zoroark to hold off on that booster to make sure that they secure that away. Machoke is online as well, just running around. I do believe we saw cross chop and submission being used. We did see cross chop. I don't think we've seen submission just yet, but Piloswine is here having access to that Ice Fang. Nice redirect by that Woodhammer. and he says, get over here with that Ice Fang. But Revenant's so hard to take down. But finally, Skull goes down to the Ghost type Haunter. Can we get the score coming through? No. Gets stopped by Latias. A big amount of damage. And there goes Latias as well. Nice 3 KO streak for Volto.
Yeah, that's pretty good from Leftover OP. They do have more of the late game Pokemon here, of course, but Blaziken's now on the field. Inteleon is here as well. They just need Gengar, and then they can finally start having an even bigger impact on this game. Skull has hit that level 7. Now they're going to go for the rip of this Regirock. Leftovers are here, though, and they're going to go for the space. They're going to try and go for the rip as the Dream Eater connects. Overheat's ready to go, and they do find that Regirock. Do they look for more, though, as they look to push on to Do You Like Pineapple, trying to decide, do we get the farm, do we go for the goal? It looks like they want to go for the approach of the KOs, but Beach has found a good Horn Leech onto the side of that Blaziken, but they go back in the Hooper portal, and Leftover OP have backed Do You Like Pineapple right out of this lane.
I mean, they did fantastic. We saw Horn Leech trying to come through to push them away outside of that Hooper portal, but it did not matter. Blaziken coming back at full health is a problem for the side of Do You Like Pineapple. They're trying to corner this Zoroark, but it looks like everywhere they go, there's something there that is able to stop that Zoroark. So far, Latias hasn't had too much of an impact on this game just yet. It is just trying to take far the big damage. It almost took down Gengar before, but there is a nice quick evolution into Mamoswine. And Do You Like Problem have a big, thick problem in the furry ancient Pokemon.
Oh, I gotta say, buddy, this is an interesting best of 5. I don't think any of us expected this to actually take this long, as they do take down Beach there as well. It's been an ongoing set, and Leftover OP, they are getting a bit of control on this game right now. If they end up winning this, we're gonna go to a 5th game in this set, bro.
I was just about to say that, but Do You Like Pineapple have got the 2-game versus the 1-game advantage. If Leftovers OP are able to do this, you look at the stat timer, the stats that they've got from that Regirock defense and special defense buff. There we go. Hooper is on the pad. We've got Mamoswine jumping on in to try and catch out that Zoroark. That's the one thing they want to do, and there's no way. Blaziken gets a 40 while sitting on that pad. These snipe shots as well coming up from Inteleon are holding deep, and I want to say that Dakira's doing a fantastic job, because Inteleon has been almost unabated right now, just unleashing this big damage. We talked about it before. Oh my god, look how close that Regirock is.
Literally teetering, but they do manage to handle that one, buddy. And yeah, we're beginning to see the control of Leftover OP in this game already as we get past this mid-game. Regice, more global experience here for this team. They've managed to limit the Zoroark, though, and that's the biggest point. Level 10 on the field for them. We're used to seeing Skull hitting those levels, sort of level 11s, level 12s already at this stage, so it's a good shout out to Leftover OP.
And there's the roll call coming in from Hooper into the Dream Eater. Zoroark goes down in quick succession. Beach is stuck in the middle. Just going to pull that Unite move as well, but it goes on to the Mamoswine, the biggest, thickest boy in the fight. KO streak of 3 coming out for Gengar. Inteleon picks up KO on Marchep, and Leftovers OP defended that beautifully. Beautiful roll call by Larcadet there from Hooper.
Oh, mate, I'm loving what I'm seeing in this set. It is non-stop from both of these two teams. And Leftover have got a little bit more confidence coming into this one as well. We see them actually trying to take the farm away from Do You Like Pineapple. And we're not used to seeing Pineapple on the back foot here. But as we talk about it, they have kept themselves in the game. Yeah, the point difference is pretty big. But as we come down to this final stretch, it's not going to be too bad. Although, I see Gengar wary at that pad, ready to defend it. Traffy does manage to get onto Skull, but makes the wise decision not to dive in once they see that collar around that Pokemon.
Beach is doing a little bit of window shopping. Gengar's about to find him as well, as a Regieleki is going to march in to bottom pad. But if you have a look at this is so interesting right now. It seems like Leftovers OP have got a single player on that Zoroark duty, just not even engaging with the Zoroark, but just trying to find out where it is. Dakira could be in a little bit of bother here as the Horn Leech does hit. Zoroark does manage to take down the Mamoswine alongside. Oh my god, the Midnight Days comes out as Zoroark gets taken out by Blaziken. Hooper's going to get a 26 on KO streak of 2. I think that's a KO streak of 3 coming in from Blaziken. No, it is the Hooper that manages to steal that KO. Eject button is popped, just waiting for that Hooper portal. There's the Focus Blast to go for the side, the stun. But I think that was a smart decision by Volto there to pull them away from Lakira. I don't know why they decided to go that way, but resetting your KO timer going towards Rayquaza might have been the smart decision here, because I haven't seen Volto go down just yet.
Wow, we're about to have the Rayquaza coming on up, buddy. Leftovers OP, they're in the advantage. They've got the points, they've got the levels, but they have managed to even it on out for Do You Like Pineapple. We do have that level 13 Machamp. Daddy Leon's ready to go with the barrage blow. Not having the Nightfall Daze yet is going to be impactful, but they may have been able to pick up Daikira here as they dive on in, and Mammoth Mash has to come through, and they actually trample the tree back to the Pokemon Center with the assist of Traffy, and they find Machamp without being able to use the barrage blow. Now they just gotta rip the Rayquaza, and that's what Nolan is doing whilst they're trying to zone out this Zoroark. They're trying to see if they can find Traffy. Nightfall Daze comes through. Indigo's the only one left. Continue with the rip, because guess what? The Trevenant is coming back. We see the Run Beach. They have managed to zone them out, but who's gonna lock this in? It's Overheat that does it for Leftover OP, and this looks like we're gonna go to a Game 5.
How often do you get to say we're going to a Game 5? Oh my days, what a wonderfully played Ray fight by Leftovers OP. I thought Daikira was out. I thought they got completely isolated. Mammoth Mash came out. They had the option to take the Hooper Portal, but decided against it. Big damage coming in from Latias. We still got 52 seconds on the board, but it is a 500-point game. Even if they empty all of their pockets into that goal zone, but Volto will not go down. Finally gets felled by Skull. We got 40 seconds for a push. All tier 1s are up for the side of Leftover OP, so there is a chance to score. But Tano, even if they score all 500 points, they need to score all 500 points. Pocket full of sunshine. Here we go.
Yeah, no, they really do, mate. Let's see if they can find the KOs, though, because Traffy is here. They need to do it quick. We do find the Inteleon. There's the Unite move coming out from the Comfey already, but they need more. They got 15 seconds, mate. It's not enough. Mamoswine is back as they push onto this T2, and with Traffy annihilating that Zoroark and the backline of Do You Like Pineapple. Oh, baby. It's Game 5 coming on up.
Game 5. Just saying that alone is crazy to me. Yeah, that's nuts. A Game 5 situation coming through in our first set of the day. Holy. My voice went up just there. Holy. But again, fantastic job, Volto, putting on a masterclass, accompanied by Traffy. Lacarette doing 19 assists. And just have a look at the damage. Volto really popping off towards that mid to late game. He disappeared for a certain amount of time for Leftovers, just farming up. And it seemed like there was a bit of a shared central lane going on between Volto and Traffy, because we saw each one of them have the different buffs at different times. So I think that's great communication between the two teams, between the two players on that team, to really, you know, assert who gets what at what time, because both players need those levels and those evolutions, because stage 2 evolutions right there coming through. Skull doing 71k damage. Anything that they tried to do in that combination of Comfey and Zoroark just was absolutely nullified. And big shout outs have to go to Daikira, especially in the early game of that, because they managed to secure early, get Mamoswine online, and they survived where, I don't know, where do you have the audacity to survive like Daikira just did?
I mean, bro, I don't have words for how well this set is shaking up. We've got to apologize to the teams that are waiting to play next, because this has gone on way longer than anybody expected. And you've got to give a shout out to both of them, because neither of these teams are giving up ground wherever, buddy. Leftover OP,
absolutely
bouncing back from that first game, it really dominated, and then Do You Like Pineapple did the same, and now we're going to a Game 5 with some really pivotal plays from on both sides of this team. Traffy was so pivotal for Leftovers in that final moments. You've already called how important Daikira was. The fact that this Mamoswine did not get KO'd, it's illegal, bro.
But then this here as well, the Nightfall Daze took out the Gengar, but also managed to get the Dream Eater, which made it put to sleep. Inteleon was in its Azure Spy Vision as well, but then again, nothing that Beach can do in that instance when you're looking down an Inteleon and a Blaziken. No one's out securing both of those because they were crossing beams. It was about to go down. Ain't no way a Hornly just getting in there with any look.
I mean, bro, I've got Arceus sat right next to me here, and they've been doing some sort of higher power for this to go to the 5th game, bro, because out of any game that I thought would go all the way, I wasn't thinking this one. I mean, what I know of Leftover OP from what they've told us is that they are a new team coming together to improve. I've seen Do You Like Pineapple playing in the past couple of months, and they've been a team that have been electric. I was expecting this to maybe go to like 4 games max, but I've got to give every shout out possible to both of these teams. It's been impressive, and I've been very hyped to see these individual players come and compete in this best of 5, mate.
Mate, we say it's fight night for a reason, and these guys, we say it, if you've ever watched any kind of, combat sports kind of thing, you say you leave it all in the ring, you leave it all on the mat, and again, this is set 1. We haven't even gotten to set 2 or the finals yet. We're not even there, but we're actually seeing a different band come out off the field. I think we finally might get to see a Blissey, Ho, or Charizard come through because Eldegoss is taking that first ban, so we are ripping through this right now, straight to game 5.
Yeah, this is interesting. So they're going to ban on out the Eldegoss. Charizard is free. You've called it, buddy. And this is it. You get to the stage where we have 20 Pokemon banned each here, right? Yeah, 20 Pokemon for both teams banned. So that's 40 in total. We have to see Charizard finally come out, and I don't think Daddy Leon is the one you want on it.
No, I mean, that is kind of crazy, that instant pick as soon as Charizard comes up, especially in a Game 5 situation. And this is so important right now. As soon as Charizard's picked, Akira has picked up, is hovering over that Slowbro. Slow Beam probably has the only counter to that Charizard Seismic Slam that we can see. Espeon, also a really good shout here. Again, we talk about just the Unite moves in general. Psychic Solaire able to hold everybody in place. A really nice combo, especially if Nolan, I want to say if they're going to run Psyshock or Stored Power, because both are really, really effective. Stored Power giving you a little bit of movement, as well as Psyshock giving you that stun and a decent amount of secure as well, and big damage. Oh, here we go, buddy. Take it away, because we got Alcremie, Blastoise, Mimikyu, Clefable on the table.
I'm actually quite surprised that Mimikyu's taken this long to come into the game, buddy, but I like it. I like it a lot, especially this is the thing with Charizard. So yeah, Seismic Slam, fantastic Unite move, but if you have Pokemon like a Slowbro and like a Mimikyu on that team, it is incredibly hard to use that Unite move to all of its capability, buddy, and that's why I think some teams aren't that concerned about Charizard, and that's exactly what Leftovers OP have done here. What a 5th game we have coming into this, mate.
I just wanted to point out, we did see Skull hovering over Raichu, and now, again, the minute you select a Pokemon that has already been used, that is banned out, that is an instant game loss from what I've been told. So, you have to be very aware of what Pokemon that you have played. So even hovering over that Alolan, Raichu, or Skull, I was a little concerned because they did play it in game number 1. We are seeing AG/Slash come out for the first time. So 2, I want to say, pretty good secures on either team. You got Psyshock, Espeon, you've got Coup de Grace coming out from AG/Slash. You got Blazing Bicycle Kick coming out from Traffy, which, by the way, buddy, we never get to say that that often. And Mimikyu as well is kind of interesting here because I am a Shadow Claw stan. I stand Shadow Claw. You brawl with it. You can do whatever you want. I think Play Rough has its place. I don't think it's in this game. I'll be very. I'm not too sure about it because they've chosen Clefable. They've chosen Clefable here, so Mimikyu has the option to stay in there and brawl for a lot longer than it usually could, because Shadow Claw heals, Shadow Sneak allows you to go in and out very, very quickly, but also Gravity has a chance to shut down AG/Slash completely.
Yeah, and I think that might be the core of how you win this game, because, I mean, we've talked about how important of a player Skull is and how flexible of a player they are over on the side of Do You Like Pineapple, with Daddy Leon being there as well. I think shutting down that Aegis might be the biggest point, buddy, because it is such a skill-expressive mon, and they are very good on it. But here we go. It's match 5 of our first best of 5. Do You Like Pineapple are here on your purple side, and Leftover OP are here on your orange side.
It is winner take all, as we've got Eevee and Slowpoke inside that bottom path. We've got Mew versus Clefable and Mimikyu inside that top path alongside Alcremie. That is an interesting combination, but Mimikyu Volto is in a little bit of danger. Had to pop that eject button. Nice light screen positioning there by Mew to secure that. I'm not sure if we saw, I did not see if Mimikyu was stacking, but getting access to that level 4 as soon as possible and then access to that level 7 is going to be high priority. But coming out of central lane, I'm going to have to give the advantage to Aegislash if they're able to get that Sacred Sword off.
Okay, Nolan's already here at that Espeon. It is going to be Psyshock that they're utilizing. Will it be Psybeam as well? That could be a great combo for them, but of course, Future Sight does enable that lock-on and that reset as well. Let's see what they go for. It's going to be 850s coming on in here. Skull is ready to go on in as that dual blade, and they dive through. They do get a lot of damage thrown onto them, and that's going to be Trappy finding the KO. Doesn't matter what level that Cinderace is at, buddy. It's still an absolute nuisance when you go in that lane.
As soon as Aegislash went in, I believe it was stalled power coming out from Nolan as well, doing all the damage. Unless you have access to that wide guard, it's going to be a problem to deal with because you can't get your resets, you can't get your boosts, and you can't heal as quickly just yet on that Doublade. So getting access to Aegislash, super important. Clefable does not matter. It's just going to heal its way and waddle its way on out. Is it going to get taken down? Oh, Clefable. Nice PG. We are seeing Playrough come out here, and this is why I was okay with Playrough, because it has a chance to completely shut out a Mew and get onto it, because Mew is such a hard Pokemon to lock down.
Alright, Leftover OP have come out swinging yet again, buddy. Of course, they are waiting for these late-stage Pokemon to come on through on the side of Do You Like Pineapple, or at least sort of mid-game. You've got that Charizard you're waiting on, you've got the Aegislash and the Blastoise that you are waiting on, and then you are well within your rights to be able to start getting control of this game. So they just got to survive. It's all about survival of this early game to make sure that you have an impact later on.
We did see Charizard going with that flamethrower move, so I assume we're going to see Fire Blast as well, giving a lot of nice AoE damage. Telekinesis coming out from Slowbro as well, which I really liked. A nice isolate on an Aegislash or anything that decides that they want to dive in. Just give it fodder for that Cinderace to just press A on that button. We haven't seen what Cinderace is going for. Shadow Sneak's going to come out of nowhere as well, just missing the tug because we've got 4 inside that bottom lane. Aegislash going to secure 20, but again, against the overwhelming power of Leftovers OP, they're going to secure this, and they're going to get a nice 30. They are into that bottom. Turn their attention to the Reggie down bottom as well. Do You Like Pineapple going to make their statement in top lane.
Alrighty, trying to even out this game already. 114 points to 86. Regirock is going to go to Leftover OP, thanks to that assistance there from Traffy. The rip on the Regieleki is going to come from Do You Like Pineapple, and they're going to let them get that on the side of Leftover, because they're doing the right thing here, Lobo. They're going back Pac-Man mode, grabbing all of their experience on their own side. This is going to be an incredibly close game.
And Nolan managing to secure that blue buff away. Also hits that Psyshock on to the Alcremie. Got to be very wary because Aegislash is there, but there's the stun. And look at the chunk of damage that just one Psyshock took away from that Aegislash. Also, if you're able to throw that into a stacked group of people, that's going to do a lot of damage and a lot of stun. Just allows Cinderace to sit there and press A. But 6 minutes on the clock, buddy. 86 to 114. It seems like a little bit more of a slow-paced game in this one, as we're already at the halfway mark, and not too many fights have broken out yet, but it is game number 5, and Shadow Sneak has found a mark, and they're going to go in.
Oh, good surf there coming out from Blastoise, trying to lock that one in. Play with me, says a Mimikyu. Volto annihilates the Aegislash, and now Leftover OP are feeling much more confident to push this pad, not having that sword around. Mystical Mirage is used here with the boosted coming on out, looking to push Leftover OP out of the way. Daddy Leon has got their sights set with the Seismic Slam for this team fight, buddy, trying to break down that that Slowbro, knowing that if they go in here, that Unite move will be used. Psychic Solaire comes out from Nolan as well, and oh my god, they connect with the Size Shock. The way that they have dominated that fight is huge, but here comes Aegislash to try and swap the tables around. The wide guard goes up, there's the coup de grace, but it whiffs. They don't connect. They do use the Seismic Slam to take out the Cinder Ace as they look for more. Mimikyu has to escape, but they have pulled the attention away, and now Leftovers can get back on their pad.
That's a great positioning play by Volta there. Managed to also take it down. I believe it was the Alcremie. As it went down, they moved all the way up, which meant the rest of Leftovers OP had the time to reset their health bar and continue backwards back onto that pad. We want to see what the Reggie is at the bottom, because it looks like most teams are going to turn their attention to that top side, but also getting a lot of the farm as well. Beach is now trying to make their way into the enemy team central there. Volta wants to make sure they take that farm for themselves. They do. Cinderace is here to blaze kick its way through. Alcremie is there. The healing coming out from the side of Reg Ice is going to be helpful for Clefable to keep them sustained in that fight. Charizard does not have access to that Unite move again. Regieleki on the board. 4 minutes almost on the clock. Game number 5 is looking to go very, very close.
It looks like they're very tentative around each other. Well, I say that, anyone but Espeon. We see Nolan going in. So much managing to get those side shocks on. They're not bothered about like running around, checking these bushes. And I like to see that play from an Espeon that knows that they're going to hit those skill shots. And that's what's so confident about them as they play this here, buddy. But 3:40 on the clock. Again, looking to see if they can find each other. Do You Like Pineapple wants to push this T1 pad. Has to watch out though, because that side shot paired that with a side beam, and you can stun the entire team. There's the Hydra Typhoon. The 40 is going to go on in as they continue to push this pad. Aegislash diving on into the backline there. Skull has to deal with the Mimikyu though, as Play With Me connects, and here comes the Cinderace for the rip, but they have to deal with the Alchemy, and they've got that Unite move to keep their team around with a Seismic Slam as well. They finally break the pad, and Do You Like Pineapple has the lead. The push comes out yet again from Beach. They eject back to their team, and they get out of that one feeling pretty rosy.
I mean, Seismic Slam was the difference maker there. Aegislash managing to stay alive. A level 12 Aegislash access to that wide guard. Even in your enemy team's solo zone, Mimikyu had to use the Play With Me, but Play With Me still wasn't enough to take down Aegislash. There's so much going on. 18 points going in the other way from a Clefable as well. Mimikyu trying to secure as much farm as it can, but Aegislash is not too far behind. Solar Beam's going to put on some big damage as well. Mimikyu hits that level 12. We got 3 level 12s on the side of Leftovers OP, buddy. It's 30 seconds left until the final Rayquaza of this set is going to make an appearance. 1 level 13 on the side of Cinderace, as Shadow Sneak does find Blastoise sitting in that bush. What do they have to do? Is this going to come down to a coin flip Rayquaza rip? They've got the secures on both sides. They've got Cinderace on level 13, which means those A pressing is going to hit like a truck. But this is where Do You Like Pineapple wants to try and use their experience as a team. Look at they're fighting off of their tier 1 pad. But Leftovers OP are trying to circle around. They're trying to be hidden. This is a much slower paced game. Rayquaza has spawned on the map. It's all about who blinks first. Inside this game number 5, it all comes down to this: who is gonna win our set number 1 of Fight Night? Here we go, Tano. It is time to see who comes out on top.
Nolan manages to connect there onto the side of Beach twice. The beams are going to continue to go through. Are they going to be able to find the first pick as Nils has to get on the retreat? Beach comes to the assistance yet again. The rip on the Rayquaza is going on whilst they're trying to find each other. The Shadow Sneak has connected, but Volto doesn't want to dive straight into the backline or the leftover of Do You Like Pineapple. That is a risky move, but the Slow Beam connects onto the Charizard. We see the Alchemy coming on out. There's a Psychic Slowness as well, but they do use the Seismic Slam. They do get KO'd. But it is going to be Do You Like Pineapple who managed to respond by taking down Volto. Beach is so weak here, but they do manage to get plenty of healing from Indigo. And now we have a fight upon our hands, buddy, because Slowbro has been KO'd as well. We have 10 seconds before Charizard is back in this fight, and Do You Like Pineapple seem to have control over this game right now. And there's the Aegislash coming on as well, cutting on up, but Do You Like Pineapple have lost their Blastoise, and not having that here is huge. And the feint does dodge the coup de grace as Nolan connects with the side shock yet again, and they tried to rip the Rayquaza.
The Shadow Sneak from off the screen as Volto comes back with a vengeance. They're deciding to take down Cinderace. Blaze kicks in, but there's the Blazing Bicycle kick. It is Espeon that manages to get the secure. Leftovers OP with 15 seconds on the clock. They are 50 points behind, but it does not matter. The Hundo Burgers reign in. Game 5 goes to Leftovers OP.
Oh my god, buddy, what an impressive set from both of those teams. That fight at Rayquaza was going both ways. It was incredible. A Leftover OP have done it. They've defeated the team that was so favorited at the moment, but they took it straight to the wire to do so.
Oh my god, I can't wait to watch the highlights back for that. That was incredible. Charizard got its Unite move. Daddy Leon got that Unite move off at the very last minute. Traffy was like shoulder to shoulder with Lara Colette with that healing to make sure. And as soon as Charizard came out of its Unite move, managing to just A-press Charizard in its Unite move, got taken down. Volto at the last minute. I saw the Shadow Sneak buddy from off the screen through 4 bushes, a wall, and the Rayquaza came in to deal with Nils on that Mew. And then who else? Who else but Nolan would get the secure with Psy Shock? And Dakira did a fantastic job because they got that slow beam onto that. But I have to say, the highlight, the feint to avoid Skull's coup de grace. Holy.
I tell you, bro, Cinderace.
Oh, God.
There might be that. It might be them, bro. They got that dog in them. I tell you, bro. But chat, we do actually have to take a quick break. I believe we're getting confirmation from production here, just because that took so long. Did that best of 5? The other teams are raring to go. We're gonna try and not have too much downtime, so we're gonna take a quick break. I believe, get this game set up, ready to go. Don't go anywhere too far. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack. We'll be back with you very, very shortly. Possibly.
Maybe. Welcome back to Fight Night, baby! We had a 5-round slobber knocker in our first set of the night. We are only at round number 2. We're about to go in, get started for another best of 5 series coming up for you right now. It is Mia Familia versus Cafe du Martin. We ain't gonna yap the live long day. Mr. Tunner, fearless draft. This is going to be good. Serena, the queen, not gonna get to play the game.
I am very excited for this match, bro. Mia Familia versus Cafe du Martin. These two teams know each other very well and are incredibly closely matched. So do not be surprised if this does go all the way to match 5 as well. Looking at the bans, no surprises. Yes, it is going to be Serena taken out with the Mewtwo Y here, trying to make sure that Cafe du Martin don't get access to really important carries early on. But Ho-Ho and Suicune, I think they're going to continue to be banned out in nearly every single game here, bro.
I agree with you 100%. But all the other Pokemon that got banned out for 4 games and was only visible in game number 5 was that Charizard gets picked up straight away by Really. Foxshow is going to hover over a Snorlax as J-Par is going to pick up the new menace on the block inside that Latios. But Galne gonna hover over the little auspicious Ducky Boy as Nyat picks up Espeon, who got a beautiful secure in the previous set.
Ah, oh, Nia is my boy, the absolute GOAT, buddy. I'm so hyped to see him on this team. Do keep a close eye on as well Christo, one of the best top laners in the EU region, in my opinion. Likes that Urshifu. Let's see if they go for it out of the gate. But Cafe du Martin, Cascade is going to get access to this Sword Doggo straight away. And this is smart tactics from Cafe du Martin. They're not using all the all-rounders straight away. They usually come out with 2 in their comp. They might do with Showmaker, but they're at least trying to expand their comp here a little bit and not use too many heavy picks.
I like this as well because now that you've got Fearless Draft in the way, once you've selected these 5 Pokemon, you cannot select them again for the entirety of the set. Romoa is going to pick up Umbreon, a defender that we did not see at all in the previous set over 5 games. Buddy, that's 20 Pokemon and Umbreon wasn't picked. I thought it was supposed to be one of the best defenders out there. We did see Lucario and Eastbeam coming in clutch in a lot of those games that we did see. Showmaker gonna put on a show with one of my least favorite Pokemon. That is Leafeon, another Pokemon that we did not see. A lot of the evolutions left to the wayside in that first game, but we're seeing 3 picked up straight out the gate in match number 1.
Oh, this is crazy. Will we see the Charizard get used next game by Cafe du Martin and then not have to deal with it anymore? That would be such a different kind of approach than what we saw in the previous set, buddy. But this is the state of our comp right now. Looking on the board, you've got ranged attackers across the board. Plenty of all-rounders here as well. Not as many as you expect on the side of Cafe du Martin. As I say, they usually like to go for the 2, but Showmaker has locked in the Leafeon. So they're really wanting to get this first win and get some momentum behind them, buddy, because having Snorlax, Latios, Zacian, and Leafeon in your first game, that means you can't play them anymore, and they are some very strong picks.
I'm curious because just on the side of Mia Familia, I'm trying to figure out there's no other Pokemon apart from Charizard that I would send into that central lane. And having Showmaker on that Leafeon, again, it can take one of those buffs, leave the other buff for, you know, a Latios or a Zacian. You could even go for an invade with the Snorlax, but anything to stop that Charizard from getting online as soon as possible. I think that's the route that Cafe du Martin has to take in this one. Leafeon is so strong in that early game that you have to utilize it to its best ability. It does fall off a little bit. Let's see what these players can cook, but also not only can these players cook, you guys can cook yourself. Check out our promo code from HelloFresh. Cook your meals, get 10 free meals and your add-ons using that promo code below. Be a chef in the kitchen, be a chef in Sky Ruins. You gotta have it your way. And Snorlax is having his way with a nice little cheeky invade, just like I called it before.
Bro, you were talking about how strong the invade is for this Snorlax. They haven't been able to get that yet, but they have been pulling people through. This is it. We have Niat distracted. We've got Charizard also. Charmander has to go back to that lane, but they haven't been able to get this early Evo onto the evolution that they're looking for as Showmaker tries to make a statement up here in the top lane, and Cafe du Martin get things rolling.
I mean, as we saw, Eevee's trying to get this this final bit of farm there to get that evolution into Espeon. So Charizard entered the central lane, but didn't get any of the farm. Espeon is the one that came out of that that central lane. Niak has both farms playing that side shock moveset. It's going to be able to lock down Zacian. It's going to be able to lock down Espeon. Beautiful side shock, trying to secure as much farm as it can as Zacian tries to go in, but it's got to be wary. Lucario and Psyduck are there. Big stuns coming for Espeon, but yeah, pays for it, buddy.
Showmaker was waiting for the ambush there, but he waiting for the right moment, and unfortunately Niak got a little bit too close. This is the power of a Leafeon. That's why it is on this team right now. They're going to come and provide some assistance here to Snorlax as well. Does manage to steal the blue buff away from Nia, and you've got a level 6 nearly Leafeon versus that level 4 Espeon, but they find Snorlax, and they have to get themselves out of dodge.
I think that was a smart play. Snorlax actually intentionally avoided the heal from Alcremie, but again, Leafeon managed to pick it up, and Charizard burns it to cinders.
I tell you what, mate, winning this evolution battle at the moment, it's so close between this Leafeon and Espeon. Leafeon is coming out on top. We do have to go down the Flux Zone to find that Zacian, but Cafe Dumartin have found plenty of the Central Altaria family that has come on in, and it's Jaipa that's going to take most of that, which is great for them building up their stacks.
Absolutely. It is a low-scoring game. Only 13 points on the board. Leafeon is here as well. Alcremie playing that. I believe that's Decorate. I need to confirm what moveset that is, but putting those pieces of cake down, allowing to get a lot of heals. Umbreon is here trying to hinder its Leafeon counterpart. Zacian is level 7. Leafeon is level 7. Almost having access to that Emerald 2-step. Just needs to tick over to it, but most of this middle Altaria farm looks like it's going to go to the side of Cafe Dumartin. But now Leafeon has that Unite move. Just got to find a target. It might be that Charizard that's going to go for. It is! Charizard gets taken down. Leafeon picking up a KO. And now Cafe Dumartin looking to make their home in the tier 1 of the topside pad.
They get that 30 in. There's currently a donut on the board for Mia Familia. They have to look at where the game is right now and reset, because Cafe Dumartin are not letting go of this pressure, buddy. They have got their pedal to the metal, and they are not letting go of it as they take that central area as well. Showmaker comes down into this bottom lane. They want to go for a rip on that basement Reggie. We have the distraction onto Jaipa here. They've had to pull Mia Familia's attention away, and they have to go on the retreat because the rest of the team is here. Registeel is going to go on back. We've got the distraction here from the Umbreon, looking to see if they can cause this disruption, and they do with that foul play, but they're going to dive on in on the Snorlax, and it's going to be Alcremie of all Pokemon as a Lotto that manages to lock that one in, and now they've got the global buff, and they're going to try and push this pad as well. Mia Familia have to go on the retreat.
Espeon missed that secure by a tick, and Alcremie managed to secure it. But they need to do the quick math here. I know math is not great, it's not people's strong suit in a tense situation, but they've left that pad on 11, hoping to look for a bigger overcap. Zacian doesn't really want to empty those pockets just yet because it is, remember, able to power up that sword whenever it needs to with that Eos energy. Close combat coming out from Lucario, dealing a big amount of damage to that sword. Doggo, still donuts on the sword for Mia Familia. They need to get something moving inside this game as Heavy Slam comes in, but Charizard has put that burn down, but Alcremie doing a brilliant job with the placement of these pops.
Yeah, the recovery is working so good that it does so much healing, and it's working for any fight because you just throw it at the feet of where that fight is, and that gives you so much assistance to your teammates. Right now, they're just going to see if they can find a quick KO as they dive on in here, looking to get the burn on through. Good disruption from the Umbreon. Ramoa pulls back Voxio, but they're not able to pick them up just yet. They dive on through, uses the block for the shield, and that's going to be an Aura Cannon that comes through. Does find the KO, and Seismic Slam's going to be used as well. There is the Fluffy Cream Supreme, but it doesn't do enough because they already found the KO. Now they just need the Sword. Doggo. Sovereign Sword is going to connect, but it's not enough. Mia Familia bounced straight back.
And that their donut store is closed for business. They have put a big 100 points on the board. Again, we have to say it every single time, Tanner, how effective Seismic Slam is in just ending a team fight, especially when it's low. Utilizing that Charizard Unite move at perfect. Now there's Snorlax going to take a power nap right in front of the Reggie Lecky. Leafeon has gone in. Emerald 2-step. Who's going to secure this one? I think it was Snorlax with the Heavy Slam up against the Lucario as well. Nice carry streak. Latios taking down Espeon. Snorlax securing the Reggie Lecky, and a 3 KO streak for Leafeon. Mia Familia did bounce back, but Cafe Dumartin said, sit down, we're going to show you how it's done.
Well, they've definitely had their morning coffee, buddy. They're putting a bit of a stance on this game, but Mia Familia, they are not out of this yet, mate. They've managed to cut down that score lead, but what they haven't managed to cut down is Showmaker. They've hit level 13 on this Leafeon already, and we're at 4 minutes left in this game. Reggie Steele is free real estate for Cafe Du Martin here as well, and they're going to have to reset on the side of Mia Familia. They've got to shut down Showmaker.
Using this Reggie Steele buff for the next minute and a half is going to be key for Cafe Du Martin. They can continue to steamroll as they have been doing. The scoreline does not dictate, but that level, the level lead disparity does dictate. Level 12 Zash, level 12 Latios. They found Leafeon, does manage to get it, has the access to the dashes, but Latios is there to put on the damage. Snorlax is exactly where his team needs him to be, absorbing the damage. Umbreon goes down inside the enemy team's central area. Lucario just avoids the block completely, but they found Charizard. Latios gonna use its Unite move, taking down the dragon that's not a dragon.
Going for the Eon Blast, one of my favorite Unite moves to call, buddy. They do get the double KO, though, on the side of Cascade, cutting through Mia Familia. That's a triple KO, and they get the farm in the central area to boot. 1 minute until Rayquaza is on this field right now. 86 points is the difference between these two. Leafeon has just been KO'd, and Rally all of a sudden hitting level 13 on this dragon.
I mean, level 14 going down as well. Also, being able to reset your KO timer is very, very important at this time around, because you get KO'd inside that Rayquaza fight. You don't want to be, that timer doesn't want to be at that 30-second mark, but it looks like Mia Familia is turning their attention to this top Regieleki, whereas it looks like Cafe Du Martin want to try and put some more scores on the board to increase this lead as much as they can. Zacian might just let this one walk. It's got 50 pockets, so it's got a full pocket full of sunshine heading on into this Rayquaza pit, but this is only game number 1, and as we've seen before, game number 1s are the full-on throttle to the metal when it comes to these games. 11 seconds till Rayquaza hits the field.
You've got to try and capitalize on having these strong Pokemon on the side of Cafe Du Martin. They have got 4 Pokemon that are very strong in this meta, and you're not going to be able to use after this game, so you've got to capitalize somewhere. Luckily, Showmaker has hit just shy of level 15, but Mia Familia with the patience here, buddy, just sat in that top lane waiting for some vision. Ramoa's going to try and locate it. Great amount of patience from this team.
And Showmaker's going for a possible back cap with 33, but there's a double. It looks like, look at the nice positioning here from the central lane, exactly where Charizard wants to be. They seem to have found Zacian as well. Zacian also shy of that level 15, a level 14 Zacian, level 15 Leafeon, but now it has Chaos has reigned supreme across Theia Sky Ruins because they don't know what to do. Do they go for the back cap? Charizard and Psyduck trying to isolate Zacian from getting into the fight, but Leafeon is there. Emerald two-step takes out Lucario, eviscerates it and sends it back to Nurse Joy, but now there's a pincer movement with the horn, with the Snorlax, with the heavy slam. Umbreon is dangerously low to going down, and there is the Charizard seismic slam. Is it gonna make the difference? The Psyduck comes down with the damage reduction, but Umbreon is low, gets taken down by Latios, but Latios is locked in. It does take the Unite move, and Charizard is the only one left. Latios cleans it up, and Rayquaza is dangerously low, but Lucario is there, not in time to secure.
It was a good effort trying to get in there with the blast, buddy, but Mia Familia unfortunately couldn't rise to Showmaker on that Leafeon. Managing to go down there, get that back cap, come straight back in. I mean, whether you needed to use the Emerald two-step to take out the Lucario, I'm not sure, but you had the assistance of Japer there, and it didn't matter because then it was just Nia and Showmaker versus each other, and Espeon is a great Pokemon, buddy, but when it is face-to-face with a Leafeon, it's not coming out on top of that fight.
No, again, a lot of secure potential, but Psyshock does be able to do damage, but Cafe Du Martin were just able to shut down completely the side of Mia Familia. Cascade and Showmaker managed to hit almost both of them, I think. No, only one of them managed to hit level 15, and that was Showmaker on that side, but Alcremie did such a brilliant job just chucking down those heals. Again, the smart decision-making by Showmaker to not only take down Lucario, but then also get another takedown, and then Psyduck and Charizard were so deep into Cafe Du Martin's central area, trying to isolate Cascade on that Zacian away from the fight, that they just got caught in a pincer movement. And again, the seismic slam came out, but I believe Alcremie held its Unite move to allow that extra healing to come out.
I mean, this is Fearless Draft, mate. So, you know, they're not going to be able to play these Pokemon again. Leafeon... Leafeon is so dominant, especially in these sort of tournaments, because they are it's such a good early game Pokemon, and if you get that snowball happening, you can really impact the late game as well, as we saw from Showmaker. Now, Cafe Dumartine can't use that Pokemon anymore, but Mia Familia can, and they have players capable of dominating on that Pokemon. Do Cafe Dumartine consider the ban? Because I don't think it gets any better in the early game than Leafeon, mate.
I mean, it's interesting that we talk about that because in the previous set that we saw the same bans go through for the first 4 games, and it kind of based on Pokemon that you just don't want to go up against. When it comes to a Suicune and a Ho-Oh, you don't want the revivalness, you don't want the tankiness of Ho-Oh in there, you don't want the CC of Suicune. Blissey, you don't want the Bliss Assistance, you don't want the Safeguard, you don't want the Helping Hand. Those were the 3 Pokemon that were banned out the most, and I can see they are hindrances no matter your comp. Any one of those Pokemon, those 3 Pokemon, can turn the tide of a game into your favor. Even just having Ho-Oh there for an extra amount of damage soaking ability, but then to just be able to bring everybody back at the right time once you had a hard fought team fight. So it's going to be interesting to see what bans we get this time around. We had Serena banned off straight away. I'm going to assume that is a target ban. You know these EU players just a little bit better than I do, but I hope to make myself acquainted with these wonderful people over the coming weeks and months that we do get to do this Unite Fight Club.
Yeah, I mean, we had an interview with Cascade throughout the week in another tournament, buddy, and they were saying how much they love their all-rounders, especially Serena. Their favorite Pokemon is Aegislash, and they are so incredibly good on it, but Serena is definitely one of the ones that team is strong on. So no wonder it's going to continue to get banned here. Charizard as well from Mia Familia. Ho-Oh and Suicune is going to continue to be the bans for Cafe Dumartine.
I do like that. It seems like a few more target bans on the side of that Serena than Charizard is such a good utility Pokemon. They don't want it used against them. Whereas Cafe Dumartine's bans seem to just be what hinders any of our comps the most. And, you know, a Ho-Oh and a Suicune will do that right for you. And that's going to pick up Mewtwo Y. I thought we were going to see a Crustle. We are going to see a Crustle, a Pokemon that has come to the forefront. I love it, the fact that Pokemon that don't get adjusted are still being played because they're finding new utility and new ways to use them. As I was going to pick up the Trickster themselves, we saw such a good use of the Hooper Highway in those previous sets. And have a look at what Mia Familia has decided to go with this time.
Yeah, interesting approach here. Christo's going to pick up that Zacian. Ramoa having access to the Snorlax. So they've already got a very good core of their comp on the side of Mia Familia. They just need some sort of healing, in my opinion. Oh my god! Japer has pulled out the Asthma Inhaler. We have Duraludon on the field, Lobo.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you heard, bro.
Excuse me? Oh! A Duraludon and a Sableye alongside a Zoroark. What am I? Fearless Draft has done something to these teams already. We're only game number 2. Japer with the Duraludon, the rip potential right now to just rip every objective is there. And I'm curious if Cascade is going to go E-Speed or if they're... Oh, no, that's exactly what I expected. The God of Secure with Blaziken there. This feels like a full rip possible comp. I mean, the only thing that's missing is that fluffy tail on that Crustle, buddy. But Gelgunner on the Sableye is interesting. I think the perception of Sableye due to solo queue has been completely misguided. Sableye in the hands of a very good player is such a good utility Pokemon for a team. Now, and if you have a look at all of the other Pokemon on Mia Familia's team, Mewtwo, Snorlax, Zacian, Zoroark, all able to act according to however they want on their own alongside the team. Sableye can go assist them wherever they want.
I mean, I know some very good Sableye players in the EU region. One of my duos plays it very, very well. And I'm with you. It definitely has that kind of, people don't realize what it can do. They think it's just a nuisance. It's great for being able to go and score and constantly put pressure on the other team, but it's actually quite tanky, mate. Saberlight can take a considerable amount of damage throughout a game, and it's really good at being able to disrupt the team, cause that quick CC to set up a combo of moves and a combo of KOs for your team. You may be trying to go for an engage, but as soon as you get hit by that Saberlight, you are stunned for like 5 seconds whilst the rest of the team just pummels you.
And it looks like Saberlight is going to go do the cheeky. We saw an invade in the first game. We're going to see another one in the second. Again, oh my god. Tano. Ooh, double invade. And Hooper has seen it. Can they get the secure on it? Who was the one that secured that? It was Hooper that managed to secure the blue buff away. The double invade has been spotted by Cafe du Martin, and they responded timely inside this. But now we've got 3 members inside that top path. And now, Cafe du Martin are going to make sure they keep their jungle buffs for themselves.
Different approach here, though. Mia Familia trying to get very aggressive with it, mate. Ramoa, they do have their focus band popped. They're going to have to get back to the pad, and Zacian can't make it. They get cut down, and now Cafe du Martin want to go really aggressive here. They've got 4 in the lane, but they recognize with that Zorak coming back, with Relly being there, you've got to get on the retreat.
Yeah, I agree, but look at this, it's just chaos from the get-go. It was chaos towards the end of that match, and it looks like chaos is raining down this time around. It seems like we have 4-4 inside this top path. It looks like Zorak has got the combo on. It's going to try and get a KO, but nobody goes taken down. They're going to eat those citrus berries. A nice little Crossal Rock Tomb to stop Zorak from getting away, but it just gives Cafe du Martin breathing time to get back onto this. We've got Donuts still on the board.
Yeah, we're 30 seconds away from these mid-Altaria family spawning in. Gallon Gunner's going to continue to run around and see what disruption they can cause. I like the protection that Cafe du Martin's putting on the central area now, trying to make sure Blaziken does come here. And Mia Familia going to try and capitalize on it by pushing this bottom pad. It's going to be the cannon coming out here from Japer, and that's enough to push Mia Familia away.
That's an interesting choice of moveset. I mean, Dragon Pulse with Dragon Tail allows provide extra movement for Duraludon. I think just a big burst damage, just able to take down the thick fat Snorlax as well. Blaziken is online going to try and overheat as much as it can. The trick is going to protect it from the Mewtwo, but Zorak is lurking. The Rock Tomb was beautiful there, Tano, but there's also a Citrus Berry if he wants it.
I mean, that is why you bring out Crustle, isn't it? Like, not only does it do a decent amount of damage, but it can do exactly that to cut off the retreat of that team. Niat couldn't go anywhere but the Pokemon Center, as now Cafe du Martin start to lock in this bottom pad. Mia Familia trying to answer by going to score some points in that top side and put some pressure onto Lucario up there. Cascade is going to have to defend against Free, while here comes the Flash Cannon again. Japer's going to rain down the artillery, but they've been pushed out of the vision, and they're going to grab that Altaria family.
I mean, that turret just keeps firing, but Mia Familia on the other side, they made the decision that they are losing that top, that bottom, that basement lane, decided to put some pressure on the top pad. That cannon is going to keep firing. Beautiful focus blast to go out the Mewtwo, kind of bait out the Mega, but it's not enough. The damage is just too much from Mega Mewtwo. It's fallen out of its Mega form. Crustle is here, Rock Tombing to try and trap it. Has to push the eject button. He uses the X's to survive the side strike. But again, it looks like Regirock is not even going to get a look in here, as Mia Familia want to pressure both lanes at the same time.
If you can get both objectives, you can flip this game well in your favor. They've taken the points lead, but Japer's the only one here having to deal with Ramoa and Niat, and as soon as that side strike does connect, Niat might be able to find the KO here as they use the teleport to get round. They've gone Mega Buddy looking to take out that cannon. They have been chased into the citrus berries though, and now Niat has to get a rip here onto Vogue Show, but they're throwing down these walls, and it's going to have to be Relly that tries to get the boosted off, but they don't find the final hit, and now they have to back on up. Mia Familia have not got enough out of that.
I mean, they have turned the game on its head with the amount of pressure that they're putting, but Cafe du Martin is doing a fantastic job just absorbing all of this pressure. Crustle does go down to the Zorak as well, the big block coming out from Snorlax. And who is going to secure this? There is the Duraludon Unite move as well. It's going to put dick damage over the Regirock because that's beautiful positioning, but who else but Duraludon? I was going to say, who else but Blaziken. Oracannon comes out as well, picks up a KO. Mewtwo has to retreat far back as Snorlax is trying to isolate Lucario from the rest of their team, but it looks like Cafe du Martin is going to take the momentum and the swing of this game.
Yeah, I think we're at a stage where you've got to abandon that goal at the moment. Just enable your Sableye to continue to score and cause issues for Cafe Du Martin while the rest of your team regroups, grabs some farm, and tries to take the next team fights, because Cafe Du Martin are just going to take every yellow dot from your side they possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, Lucario is now going to do exactly what it needs to do to get in and out. It's going to go window shopping. Zoroark gets taken down inside its own central area as they now turn attention to Zacian in the top lane. Crossel is trying to find Gale Gunner, gets the Rock Tomb, and traps a Sableye. There's nothing more satisfying than trapping that little gremlin that could, but there's a fight going on inside this top part.
Cristo trying to see if they can get away from Showmaker here. They do manage to, but it's going to be them getting over the wall. They do find the KO. Eventually, the eject button was used for that there, buddy. And now Mia Familia want to go for the push here. Ramoa nearly getting their Unite move ready to go. That will pop as Voxo tries to go on in here and find that one. Just a little bit mistimed. Now the rip comes through. Not going to be easy, though, when Rubble Rouser gets popped for Voxo. That is a massive defender with a huge HP pool. They do connect, though, with the side strike, and they managed to find the KO onto Lucario. Not before they managed to take down that Zoroark, though. And Revolving Ruin connects from Japer, throwing down the cannon. But what does Snorlax do? They set up shop right in front of the cannon and take all the damage, buddy. Not that it'll be enough, though, because Japer, they relocate. They find the KO onto the Zacian, and now they want to break this pad as they continue to push onto it. Infinite Cyburn is going to come on through, and they've done what needs to be done, has Cafe Du Martin. But can they retreat in time? Because now Zoroark is connected. That's a double KO, but Showmaker manages to find it as well. And that is a fight that goes left and right, and eventually Cafe Du Martin come out on top.
Take a break, buddy. You talking at 400 words a minute. Let's recap everything that just happened in that fight as Zacian turns its attention to that Regice. Left, right, up, down, side to side. That fight had KOs from both sides as Hooper calls roll as well, trying to get their team to escape, which they do to brilliant ability there. They were all trapped inside that central area. Lucario's trying to make its way on out. Does get caught. But no, it doesn't get caught. It manages to slick its way out, pulling Houdini-like maneuvers out of nowhere. We are 3 minutes on the clock. Zacian has to take a retreat. 1-3-1 to 2-2-4. Cafe Du Martin, 100 points, almost 90 points to the good right now. Let's have a look at some of these levels really quickly because the action has not stopped. We're only at game number 2. A level 13 Lucario, level 13 Blaziken hit the field. 12-12-12 for Zacian, Mewtwo, and Zoroark. But again, buddy, they look like they want to fight all over again with 9 seconds to go until a Regieleki spawns. Lucario showing absolutely no fear in the face of this Zoroark.
I can't believe they want to show face for that Regieleki, buddy. Like, they just want to continue to fight when there's no need to. You've got 25 seconds before Rayquaza is here. But now Cafe Du Martin are going to show for that. Revolving Ruin has just been used by Japer, 15 seconds away from Rayquaza to find the KOs. But Snorlax takes them out anyway. They're going to be back. But you do not have your Rip tool if you want to go for this. So it has to be a team fight. And you're still waiting for 2 Unite moves.
I mean, that Regieleki is going to walk right on into that top pad. The Rock Tomb has sealed off one of the entrances as well. The trick is going to help. They are trying to hit the Rayquaza, draw them in. Cafe Du Martin is in the lead right now with over 100 points to the good. Sableye has been found by Lucario. Blaziken trying to put some damage on it to the Snorlax with the block up. Oracan's going to come out, but Zoroark takes down the Lucario. Now it is a 4v4 situation between both teams. 100 points still good. All Unite moves have not started flying yet. Snorlax does a beautiful eject over the wall as well. And now we've gone back to almost patient in a game full of chaos. It is only game number 2. Cafe Du Martin want to get this over and done with, having taken game number 1. Zoroark still has access to that Unite move as well. And Duraludon is the only one without a Unite move on the side of Cafe Du Martin. But now, Tano, we've gone back to the patient waiting game as Sableye does what Sableye does.
Yeah, these backcaps are going to put pressure onto Cafe Du Martin as you see them go for the approach here. There comes the Power Nap head with a Rubble Rouser, though. They're going to fight it off while everything goes on in the middle of this pit. The rings are let loose. I think we saw the Sovereign Sword coming on out there as well, buddy. But it's Mia Familia that has found the KOs onto Cafe Du Martin. In return, though, that Zoroark is back to the Pokemon Center, and just out of nowhere, Cafe Du Martin have cleaned up the carries of Mia Familia. You've got Gown the Gunner left. You've got Ramoa left. That's all there is to defend this, and currently Cafe Du Martin are in the lead.
Cascade does a fantastic job to stop Gelgunner from scoring 100, because if they score 100 right now, that is the point. Sableye gets hit by the Aura Cannon, but it bounces off of him like nothing. Gelgunner really wants to try and get 15, but we got 18 seconds left in game number 2. There's the Revolving Ruin coming out from the Duraludon. They're going to go for the rip with 10 seconds on the clock. Is Duraludon going to do this, or was it a fake to get everyone back into the central lane? If they secure this with 3 seconds to go, Sableye could get a shield. Sableye gets a shield, but it's not in time.
Oh, bro, if they had 5 more seconds in that game, they could have got a hundo burger in, and that was a ridiculously close game. You give me 5 more seconds of that, and Mia Familia may have been able to take it, because Japer, with the confidence of a god, went for the rip with 15 seconds left.
15 seconds to go, but Zacian was there, so you also saw Japer wasn't really spamming that flash cannon to try and secure that. They were just wasting time. But Gelgunner was there. Galnet Gunner was there with 50 points. Give it a shield. It doesn't matter how many people are hitting that Sableye. It is going to score that 100, and that would have turned the tide of Mia Familia's game.
Oh man, this set is exciting, buddy. I mean, Cafe DeMartine are going to take game 2, so we are officially on match point for Cafe DeMartine now. But Mia Familia, oh my god, I could watch these teams all day long, matey. It's so exciting to see how they throw this one on out, and that could have been anyone's game. Galna Gunner was keeping Mia Familia in that, though.
Oh,
they were,
100%.
The team fights were not quite going Mia Familia's way. Cafe DeMartine were dominating that stage, Lobo. But as you see on these highlights, they managed to keep very close. 100, there's 18 points between them because of Gelna Gunner's scoring, mate.
Agreed, and I got to give a big shout out to Cascade. Turned the time to that Rayquaza fight brilliantly for the side of Cafe DeMartine. But the one thing we have avoided, Tana, because we are just going through quick succession, is our player profiles for these teams. We really need to get to know some of these players as we watch our highlights, as we are watching the incredible Unite Fight Club going on right now. Beautiful KO there by Blaziken. We're just going to go through some of these teams. We'll start with Mia Familia. They have it. It is Matt. They are staring down match point right now. What we're going to go through is this. Our captain, Nyat. Roll was the attacker. The play style, the player's game style, strategic and thoughtful. I like that. Thoughtful as a game style is very interesting to me. The tagline and motto of the team is family and goals. It's simple, bro. Winning it all. They just want to win it all. They want to win absolutely everything, but let's have a look. We've got the central laner, Rayleigh. Gameplay, no strategy, just send it. Just send it, bro. I love it. Absolutely love it. Again, winning it all is the goal. We've got Christo, the top laner. Playstyle, aggressive, vanguard, and precise. The motto, a win without style is a loss, and I absolutely love that one. I want to retweet that. That is brilliant. I absolutely love that. Ramoa, the tank, the motto, he has none. It's blank. It's blank. And the winning of it all is exactly what they sell. And last but certainly not least, support, Galna Gunner, playstyle calm and collected, and their goal is to make it to Worlds. So these guys, girls, everybody, these players, they're doing such a fantastic job. And they're putting on a show for us, man. We had 5 incredible games in the first set. Now we've got Cafe DeMartine staring down match point. Do you want to take us through the players and the team that have match point in hand?
Yeah, I mean, they don't need no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway, buddy. Cafe DeMartine have taken the stage by storm. Their name means morning coffee. They've been playing in plenty of tournaments for the EU region for a while now. Cascade is their captain, the top laner. Favorite Pokemon being Aegis/. Also, just very good on any all-rounder that they can put Cascade on. Likes to play mobile and skill-based matchups, but hates counter picks. So, if that doesn't tell you that Cascade is the top laner, I don't know what possibly could, chat. But they want to become the very best. And their motto is, when you're losing, just get better, bro. Just get better.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Take us through the rest.
Next game is ready, so I'll quickly get through some of these as well, chat, just so that we can give you a bit of an overview of the players. Next, we have Showmaker, or N14th letter, as they like to go by as well. They're the jungler. Their favorite Pokemon is Gengar. Let's go, bro. I'm with you 100% of the way. And they like to make a show with some great achievements of winning, or top 3, for the Gamers Assemblies. So very fantastic players. We'll cover the rest later on, but here we go. This is going to be game 3, a possible match point here for Café du Martin. Ban-wise, Buzzwole is on the field.
And it's just like that, Ho gets picked up straight away by Voxshow. Again, as soon as one of these bans come off and let out of the ban jail, they're just going to be picked up straight away because they're such good, useful Pokemon. Ho is going to be interesting. The real point of Ho is to really just make sure you have that Eos energy so that you can bring as many teammates back. We already talked about Christo as well. Aegislash is going to be there as Ramo is going to pick up Mama Swine. I like this. A nice secure Pokemon. Aegislash, such a fun Pokemon to watch, especially when you're able to really plan out those wide guards into those boosted. Showmaker hovering over a Pokemon we haven't seen yet, and that's that Gardevoir.
Gardevoir would be an interesting pick here, actually, buddy. I mean, great power spike coming into that lane, but it is going to be Japer. We lock in the Talonflame. We haven't seen many speedsters today. Ooh. It's been Zoroark and Leafeon all the way. Talonflame is still very, very strong, and oh my god, they're going to come out absolutely guns blaring here for Mia Familia. They're going to lock in their comfy Zeraora with Rally taking that. They mean business here, Lobo.
I mean, another Pokemon that really does benefit from a comfy is that Zeraora. Zeraora, whether it decides to play Discharge or Wild Charge, it's a tough Pokemon. And we talk about it a lot. It is a very unique niche Pokemon that is slowly coming to the forefront of Pokemon Unite. We are seeing Eldegoss and Goodra for the first... We've seen Eldegoss already. We are seeing Goodra for the first time with Cascade bringing out the Goodra. And Showmaker is going to go on to, I believe... it is going to be that Rapid Strike Urshifu, the Water Bear, coming to Thea Sky Ruins, and yeah, picks up the Armor Rouge.
This is interesting, buddy. I can't see the items on Cascade, but I guarantee you that's going to be a brawling Goodra. That's going to be the plan. It's going to be all-rounder Goodra.
I was just about to say, because when we went through the team descriptions for Café du Martin, I'm pretty sure you told me that Cascade was the top laner. So... no EXP share going on there because we got EXP share on Eldegoss and Ho-Oh, but it's actually going to be a swap. Japer's going to go over. Nope, they've swapped it back.
Trying to tease us, mate. They're trying to tease us,
bro. They're trying to tease us. Make sure we don't do any more casters cursing on this team. But I like the teams all round. Comfy is going to be able to support that Zero as well as that Armor Rouge. Keep Aegislash in the game as well. And Mamoswine, the disruption is going to be so good to try and stop that Water Bear Urshifu, which has recently come back into the fold. It was all about that single strike Urshifu, but the rapid strike is coming back out. It's almost like a pseudo speedster. I want to talk about, considering how good it is at moving about. Liquidation as well, giving it that extra defense buff to just be able to take things down. And the amount of damage it's able to rip is so strong. Pair that with the rest of its team, your Goodra is so hard to take down. Its passive that just allows you to swish into any bush to heal as well is so good. And again, when you're in this brawly type comp, you've got Ho-Oh just putting the flames on. And however hard it is to take down a Goodra and an Urshifu, Ho-Oh can just be like, psych, and bring them all back. And you got to do it once again. This is game 3, match point for Café du Martin. They seem to have brought out a very troublesome comp.
They do, and we do have to let you know, chat, that we have, we're trying to sort of iron this out as we go. This is the first UFC by INGAGE, so of course this is going to continue to be a long-standing event, but we're going to take feedback and we're going to adjust it to make it the best event it possibly can. Now, I don't know about you, chat, but that first best of 5 took an entirety of 2 hours to get through, which is ridiculously long, so we're going to try and adjust things. We're not going to have a final game after this. This is going to be the final set that we have for today, and we're going to plan to do the finals probably either Thursday or next week. week because the team that did play in that first set, they're absolutely exhausted, which is understandable. They've got work tomorrow. We don't want people having to play Pokemon Unite for 6 hours or something ridiculous like that. So we will adjust it and we'll get better with these shows. And of course, whilst we gather all this data for the first couple of weeks, Lobo, we will be building up player profiles. That's what this is all about. And eventually, we will have our panel of analysts that will give players grades that you can grow and sort of build from. It's very exciting, but we got to get a couple of weeks under our belt first.
I mean, when do we get our Pokemon Unite trainer collectible cards? That's what I want to know. I want a Japer and Cascade card. Can I get one of those? I would love one of those. But again, it's such an exciting thing that we're doing right now, especially with Unite Fight Club. It's going to be a consistent thing brought to you guys by INGAGE, which is fantastic because we are in the off season. This is going to go throughout the entirety of the off season. And as we go, these players want to cook. Hoa with that sacred fire, going to cook up some sacred meals the same way that you can with our HelloFresh promo code. 10 free meals plus your add-ons. Use that promo code down below. You can cook like the players that you're seeing on your screen right now. Thank you. Big shout outs to HelloFresh for sponsoring us. And as we get to this, we've got Comfy and Honed inside that top hut.
Bro, I was trying to pronounce that promo code because usually it's one that you can just say, isn't it? But that one definitely is. I was like, 91635. That's all I got, bro.
You can see the promo code on the screen. Use it. Screenshot it. Do what you must. But here we go. We've got Zeraora coming down in. Hoa was in that central area trying to get an invade going off. Was Voksho. But Hoa, again, so suppressive in the early stage. But Showmaker, are they going to steal the show down here? It looks like it because this is a dangerous lane to go up against when you've got a water bet to deal with.
Oh, Nia is just teetering on the edge of becoming that Armor Rouge, buddy, and they have Showmaker in their face. They do manage to survive that. I was expecting Showmaker to dive on in. Can they get this little bit of assistance? Yes, they do, finally. Fire Spin is here. They can push on in with this one, but no, actually, Nia is going to be running there. No, it's not. It is Fire Spin, and there we go. They pull that one out, looking for the KOs, but it's going to be Showmaker that comes out with the Zeraora KO.
I mean, chaos reigns all over, and again, first 2 games were chaos personified. This game seems like it's going to go the exact same way. We haven't talked about Talonflame just yet when we were talking about the draft, having access to either Fly or Bravebird, but when you've got this Brawly style team, I mean, having a nuke button like Talonflame when you go with Bravebird is going to go in. Aegis decides to go in with its boosted. Palisade is dangerous. You know, Zeraora picks up the KO on the Sliggoo. Showmaker puts its fist through the Armor Ridge and picks up a KO, but gets KO'd by the Zeraora return. KOs all over the map. Zeraora and Aegis alongside that Comfy, the only ones remaining standing.
Oh, Indigo says, give me a kiss, baby. Pulls them in with it, and then they find the easy KO. Cafe du Martin, they do have the points lead, but Mia Familia are swinging in this one, buddy. Zeraora is going to utilize that discharge and spark to get themselves around. Now we've got 20 seconds before these objectives come on in. Not close to the Unite moves they're looking for just yet. Gudra, not too far from it. We do see Talonflame finding the KO onto Zeraora. If they can get that fly early enough, buddy, it's going to be really impactful, and Talonflame is now on the field.
A Talonflame is here as well, but Mia Familia have gone to business as usual. It's family time for them. Piloswine sticking there. Fly's going to manage to take down the swiny little boy, the swiny ice boy. Now, Armor Ridge is putting damage on Urshifu. Gets taken down. Ho is here. Talonflame hiding in a bush, not going to get away from Zeraora. Using that discharge volt switch combination. Fly's going to try and secure it. It is Fly that managed to secure that for the side of Cafe du Martin, but Aegis is going to hack and slash. Gudra's going to get sent back to the Pokemon Center, but Talonflame has gone hunting. Picks up Aegis picks up Armor Ridge, Flame Sweeps in, it's going after Zeraora, but Zeraora said, nah, flying types are weak to electric types, so come, let me give you a little zappy zap.
Oh, call an ambulance, but not for me, says Relly. J-Bear's probably not the Pokemon they wanted to go for with that one, buddy. But they did get what they needed. They got that bottom objective. They got some really important KOs. Showmaker continues to steal this aura away from Nia. So they're limiting the heavy Pokemon on the side of Mia Familia. Cascade is just going to brawl it on out with Cristo. The coup de grace comes through, and they still feel pretty healthy. The passive goes. Cascade does get KO'd, though. The power of this Zera Aura with the Plasma Gale to find the Urshifu, and Mia Familia connect right back on it.
I think that was a fantastic coup de grace coming out from Mia Familia as well, because it did put the extra damage onto the Goodra, it put the extra damage onto the Urshifu. Talonflame is hunting once again, but does Flying beat Electric? Not this time around. Comfy's trying to heal it up, but the Flame Sweep comes out of nowhere. Exit, enter stage left. Managed to pick up a KO, a big KO on the Zeraora. Goodra, usually a big brawler, is just falling to all of this fire spin damage coming out from Armor Rouge.
Oh man, the drive-by Talonflame, buddy, that's why we love it. That was Psycho Boom coming out from Nia as well, as they managed to connect on the side of Japer. They have to back on up to their pad here, buddy. They're coming in with the fly, but the Comfey is keeping this Armor Rouge up. Everybody, that's apparently an attacker, but look at the damage it takes. It's an all-rounder in disguise, but it's going to be the Talonflame that connects on the Lecky. They steal every objective out of the claws of Mia Familia, but they're going to continue to brawl here, buddy. Ho-Ho does go down. They ain't bringing anybody back as Talonflame continues to find the connect, and they run into the tusks of Ramoa. That's a KO with that one, and they connect with the rest. There's going to be the wide guard, gets the boosters off, and they're going to continue to cook with Mamoswine finding the triple KO. I'm not sure coup de grace was needed, but it was used anyway.
Oh, and Mamoswine... Mamoswine just ice banged the Lecky back in there like, nah, we don't want you to wait, just get rid of it. It was almost like a ploy. Liquidation, managing to allow Showmaker to survive. Flame Sweep brings Aegislash back through, trying to get away. Comfy is there, feels the healing, does heal it up. Plasma Gale comes in and eviscerates the entirety of Cafe du Martin. But Ho-Oh, the Sacred Beast, the leader of the Sacred Ones, is putting the flames to the side of Mia Familia.
This game is crazy, mate. It's a great response from Mia Familia to what Cafe du Martin have been doing. I mean, even in that second game, they'd managed to bounce back a little bit, and now we're seeing more of that. Of course, they do need more points, and they're going to try and break this with that 12 going on in. It's just Christo up here with the assistance of Indigo, and they have to use literally 4 Pokemon here to just drop that damage onto them. 3 rather, but there goes the fly as well. Christo does eventually fall. I mean, Indigo, you can try and run as fast as you can, but that Talonflame's going to chase you down.
I mean, they could look for a back cap here as well. 39 plus 20, 59 is going to go in. Not sure if Ho really wants to go here, but down. Mamoswine is trying to hold onto this base. Mia Familia is brawling to their heart's content. Beautiful Mamoswine surviving for Armor Rouge to come back in, trying to pick up a KO on the Goodra. They want to get rid of the Goodra first. Instead of the Urshifu having a tank like Goodra to just sit there and put damage onto you, but everyone gets pulled back. Urshifu's going to go down alongside. There is the revival coming out from Ho-Oh. Urshifu is back. You thought he was dead. You thought he was gone, but no, he's back alive. Ho is dangerously low here. Aegislash is going to go and try to survive, but hunted by the Talonflame. Takes to the skies. Zeraora is here, and that is a nice big team wipe, except for the Goodra, who has just revived with 27 seconds to go until Rayquaza spawns. Mia Familia finally getting some catch-up points on the board.
They are back in this game, buddy. We have a ball game on our hands. That is absolutely cheeky from Rally as well, going on in there to take that blue aura away. It is fascinating how close this game has come. It could be match point here. Can Cafe du Martin lock in this best of 5? Or will Mia Familia take it to the 4th game, buddy? They're going to go on in here onto the Rayquaza, waiting for the team to come on for the approach. Diving on in there is Christo. They just want to get a bit of damage on the Rayquaza just to see where those Hurricanes drop.
I mean, there goes Discharge in with the Zeraora. The Cotton Car Crash does manage to save the Elder Goss as well. Urshifu has decided to go around the back, trying to pick up a KO. The Plasma Gale comes in. So Aegislash does take down the Urshifu, and Mia Familia are now in a 5v4 situation. Talonflame takes to the sky, hits the fly, but Elder Goss does go down as well. Picked out of nowhere, does get a KO on the Zeraora. Talonflame comes back, does get taken down. Goodra gets felled by the sword. Can Ho bring everybody else back? Doesn't have access to it. Tsunami Talonflame is dangerously low, trying to go in and out with those flies, but that fire spin is there. Ho gets picked up, put down by the Mamoswine. Talonflame goes in, picks up a KO. The Rayquaza is so low, and it does go to the side of Cafe du Martin.
Japer, take a bow. That Talonflame had the sliver of health, buddy. They were going in with the fly and the flame charge, just doing the damage whilst they were trying to deal with Cascade in their face. That was a perfect duo to hold out that Rayquaza fight and connecting those final KOs. Japer getting that double KO in those final few moments had the lowest amount of health I've seen on the Talonflame going into that Rayquaza fight, buddy. It was a moment of brilliance from Cafe Dumartine.
Vox Show, take a bow as well, just staying in there. That is the power of Ho-Oh. But, Tano, Mia Familia brawled and brawled in that fight, really doing 108k damage. And yet with the 91, they had that game. I believe that Rayquaza fight there, but Talonflame moving in and out, going in and out, taking to the skies, coming down. I thought that Ray fight was in the side of Mia Familia and we were going to go to another game, but Cafe Dumartine did not want to give up that match point. They played that incredibly well, and riding on the wings of J-Pass secured them a beautiful 3-round victory in this best of 5.
I mean,
oh my God.
It could have. The thing is, though, mate, that could have gone all the way to all 5 games.
100%.
It felt like Mia Familia really responded after that first game, buddy, and they came back stronger in game 2 and in game 3. But it was all down to those final few moments in the Rayquaza fight. I do not think Cafe Dumartine win that without Cascade and without Japer putting up an incredible final few moments at that Rayquaza fight, mate.
I mean, just have a look at some of these highlights. It was brawls all over. I think you and my voices were not going to be able to handle a full 5 game versus this, because it was just action from the start. Zora really did a fantastic job kind of coming in towards the end of most of those fights, cleaning up, but also taking out a lot of surprise kills, KOs with those discharges. The Armor Rouge Fire Spin was fantastic, just doing damage. Ho-Oh, we know, can sustain a lot of damage, but along just staying in there, you're at the threat of Armor Rouge. And let's not take anything away from Christo. Aegislash was fighting for their lives in every battle that they went through. The coup de grace coming through to put the damage on for the rest of the team to come out and finish off. That brawling style was so exciting to watch from Mia Familia and Cafe Dumartine. What a way to finish off that beautiful game 3.
Mate, Worlds has just happened. Like, these games are so electric, and like this, yeah, we've still got roster mania going on here in the EU region. You know, team players are moving all over to different teams, but the level of competition, it's so electric. Like, this is why I'm so hyped that we're doing things like this here in this region, because we are a strong region when people put the effort in, and that's what we're seeing from these teams. I cannot wait for 2026 if these teams continue to play and these players continue to develop the way that we're seeing here already, mate.
I mean, I just want to have a look at, because we were looking at Cafe Dumartine. We were doing them through the profiles, were we not? Or we were up to Mia Familia. Just some of the incredible, just in the words that they say, the dedication that they have to this game, even just, you know, their play styles and even just their team mottos, is just, I mean, for Azalea, the supporter as well, the tagline, vision is power. That's coming from a supporter, which shows you just how well you know your role as a supporter, to be able to get vision for your teammate, but not only to heal up as well. I love Vox Show, a defender's tagline, a stun is better than you. Again, I think some people, and I think one of the main things to highlight is that these players have such personality behind them, behind the Pokemon that we just see in the game. Their personality comes out through the play, through the plays that we see, through the Pokemon that they choose, through everything that we see, that the way the game goes. But there's such immense personality behind these players, and I think that's such a fantastic way to highlight this. Because yes, we highlight teams, we highlight Pokemon, but in giving an individual praise to these players, an individual spotlight as well. And over all 5 games that we watched in game number 1, in set number 1, and all 3 games that we watched in this one, every player was highlighted at some point, and they deservedly deserve to be so, because they just did such an amazing job. What a first stream for the Unite Fight Club.
It's great, mate. Yeah, no, it really is. And as we said, chat, it's only going to get better. We're going to take feedback. We're going to improve this. It's a long-standing thing now. And I want to give a huge shout-out to the Fight Club community as well as Christo and getting Engage involved in this and letting this all come together to just develop this EU region, because it takes a lot of effort and a lot of people behind the scenes to make this what it is. And it's going to only get better as we get our panel, developed, as we get, these teams, their own individual profiles created for their players. It's only going to get better, guys. Let's have a look at the bracket, because of course we don't have that final game tonight. It has been a long time. That first best of 5 went all the way. Do you like Pineapple? Leftover OP. Leftover managed to take that one. So it is going to be Leftover OP versus Cafe du Martin. That will happen on Thursday, chat. And I believe that will be a best of 5. And then we're going to have a look at possibly adjusting things to maybe a best of 3, so things are snappy until we get to the final one. We will find out. As I say, we will develop this. We will sort of iron it out and make sure that we're putting on the best show that we possibly can, as well as getting all the data that is so important for these players to develop their own profiles that they can use in this esports scene, bro.
I mean, it's such the way that both games went, Do You Like Pineapple's taking it to a full 5 games after having a very, very hard first game and coming out behind that, and then Cafe du Martin showing up strong. I can't wait to see this best of 5 between them. Again, I hope it goes to a full 5 game set. I don't know if our voices are going to handle it, but we are here twice a week now for another grassroots event that's put on by Engage. So we're excited to be here. We obviously have some quick shout outs that we have to give to everyone behind the scenes, Zen as well as VK, who've been in our ears, and just, handling all of the logistics and adminning these tournaments as well. A big shout out, like Tano said, to Christo as well. And then also, this stream has a sponsor. Obviously, Tano and I have been making cooking puns as much as we could throughout the entire stream. So we have been very, very fortunate and blessed enough to be able to partner with HelloFresh, who have given us that promo code. So you guys can get that. You've seen it throughout the stream. It'll be on Twitter. It'll be in the commands as well. So it's pretty exciting times for us to even get a sponsor for something like what we're doing here. But I guess I also got to give a shout out to my beautiful, my handsome, my lovely co-caster for this event. Tano and I are always excited to get behind the mic and kind of bring something different to Unite Casting any chance we get, and highlighting these players is something I think we are so excited to do. We may be on opposite ends of the world, buddy, but Unite brings us together.
Well, you never know. Next season, we might be on that stage together, bro. You never know. We're calling for it. I'm calling for it. Hashtag for Worlds. Let's go. Even just EUIC. But anyway, that is going to be it from for us, guys. As Lobo said, we are going to be here on Thursday, and then Monday, and then Thursday, and then Monday, and then basically every Monday and Thursday, we're going to be here covering the Unite Fight Club, powered by Engage. So thank you all for being here. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, peeps, and we will catch you on Thursday. Mwah.
Fight night, baby!